It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo.
Hello there. Oh, this is voice.
Mayegula wamo.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
Somebody said I just woke up.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Máyégún máa wí.
So sorry that we are starting this late. This is going to be a People's Parliament conversation, okay? But I will get you into that mood. I'll get you into it with the current, happenings. And then you can join. I mean, it's a free space where you can come on and then express your own view, your mind, and you have to respect others as well. However, before we get fully into it, there is a link in the main description of this broadcast. You can join us via that one, okay? But share the broadcast first.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Thank you.
Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé.
I'm very good at
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
So thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Like I said, if you are willing to join the conversation, there is a link, and at some point I'm going to share the link in the comment section for everybody to join. So the rules, when we get to that stage, I will tell you the rules. But let's get fully into it first. Me introducing you into the whole conversation. Yes, BVAS is back in the news. The same one that they used in convincing many of you that their 2023 charade was going to be free and fair. Yeah, that was the lie. Until INEC changed the rule. But there are some other kind of, nitty-gritty details of what happened in Osun, how what happened in Osun happened, and then compare them to the bigger one, where the obedient are very adamant, very confident, even a little bit doubtful, but they are mostly confident that, their mandate, they'll get their mandate back from Tinubu, or at worst, there will be a rerun. So you know me, I am not here to kind of wait to your side or wait to the side in this case, right? Mine is just to kind of give you the debates, and then you know yours, right? Hopefully, it will help you too in understanding Nigeria better or Nigeria politics better. That's why some of us don't invest in it anymore. However, you can join where you can kind of take us to a different perspective entirely. Nevertheless, it's going to be interesting without wasting much time. So the Supreme Court in Nigeria has delivered a judgment on the Osun governorship election case. But here is the story. Or should we say, before we get fully into the story, let's have some recap how the Osun governorship election, INEC, BVAS, and so many other things that finally came to become something they call precedence in law, right? There are things that have never been done before. There are judgments that have never been given before based on certain evidence and all that before. So the Supreme Court that every one of you think will likely perform wonder seems to have followed that same precedent by setting it that this their 2023 election that is on the Electoral Act, amended, what have you, which INEC has violated, will be will be discarded, sort of. Anyway, let's go back to where it all started from. The fight between PDP and APC. The fight between Adeleke and Oletola. Now, Adeleke happened to be, someone that will always be, the alternative to APC, Egbekegbe in Osun. One of the states mismanaged, destroyed. When I talk about, governance mismanagement, is that of Osun State. I mean, it happened to be the only state in Nigeria since 1999. In fact, since the creation of states in Nigeria, it happened to be the only state in Nigeria that went bankrupt because APC, Egbekegbe, looted the place dry. The story long. So you wouldn't expect people ordinarily to want to have anything to do with APC, Egbekegbe, without rigging. Even the guy, Oletola, that was running for a second term, was rigging against this same guy the last time. So last year, for some reason, even if APC wanted to write the result for themselves, it was practically impossible. Yeah, a sitting governor who inherited a failed governor, Aregbemubo. But APC, they were covering themselves up. Anyway, so they were voted out. And then they approached court. What did you do? How did you even let that happen? Yeah, you are the sitting governor. Your failure must be so monumental that you couldn't even rig. So the sitting government complained that they were overvoted, right? They were rigged out. So that was the genesis of the court case. But in Osun State, when this guy was announced, this is us now going to throw back before today, so that we can then go to the expectation that the same Supreme Court is likely going to leave on his own precedent. I'm not banking on that. But this may be helpful for those who have very much confidence or are indeed saying it is the judiciary in Nigeria that is on trial. All those, kind of expectation, speculation, assumption, and the rest of them. This can give a bit of clarity to that somehow, but you can't bank on it because we are talking about Nigeria where things are never done normally. But yeah, so it was announced as the winner, and Osun State went into this agog. Anyway, something like that. And it was like, why wouldn't they celebrate? I mean, for some reason, right? It seems that they have been sort of powerless, like they have been helpless for some time. So it was like a freedom, a kind of, and in fact, those who didn't like PDP, or those who probably are not even from Osun, they were celebrating that finally the people actually, they were allowed to choose their own governor. But the joy of that celebration didn't last long. When the defeated APC went to court, like I said, with the complaint of, we believe that they rigged us. We believe that they overvoted here and there. So then that started the litigation, like tribunal. So when they got to the tribunal, right, expectedly, they did what they usually do. They left all of the case. And there's something they actually said. They said, indeed, they were overvoting. But the overvoting that the tribunal court turned to the BVAS machine. They call it BVAS report. Now, they said according to their new electoral act or law, any election conducted with that, within that law, the only legal vote will be the vote that comes from the recordings of their BVAS, that machine. So from there, they can detect where they overvoted, where the votes are more than the accredited voters, like, proper one. So they started scrutinizing. But when the tribunal finished, remember, APC Egbekegbe went to court with no real proof of anything other than we believe they overvoted us. So when the tribunal will finish, I think the tribunal just went straight for Adeleke and they reduced these votes. According to them, they were doing so based on the BVAS reports. Meanwhile, Adeleke was like, okay, if you're going to do that, then you have to do it across all the areas, because we also have complaints of areas where we know the APC also rigged. That was when Adeleke, tribunal, I think they said tribunal just like, my friend, a state governor cannot be bugaing, and it cannot be doing lo. It cannot be going lo and be doing bugaon, dancing bugaon about. So because of that, they just said that he didn't win. And immediately, it can be like, say, then throw them Minosh, then throw Osun people into a money mood. I still have the video. In fact, from the court, the tribunal, a flashback, Abi. Watch this.
Now, the members of the PDP also reacting to the judgment. Members of the PDP are obviously not happy with the the judgment.
God can see our mandates. Imola come to stay. Imola come to stay. Nobody can see our mandates. Imola. Oh
Democratic Party and their supporters obviously not happy with the judgment. Members of the People's Democratic Party and their supporters reacting to the judgments delivered by the tribunal that just concluded their sitting in Osun. Chairman of the tribunal panel, Justice Atiku.
I know, because we are starting late, so I'm going to be doing them short, so that all of you can come on and share your views, okay? But I'm going to be using the first 45 minutes or thereabouts. So yeah, that was their reaction. It was like they just took their joy from them, and they were protesting. They were calling Tifnumbu Ole, PAPC Ole, all of you. They were cursing them everywhere. The civil servants. So the man himself addressed them. A flashback.
My good people of Osun State, we have all heard the split judgment of the governorship election tribunal. Two members of the tribunal delivered two opposing judgments. The chairman and the member one. The member two did not deliver any judgment. She abstained. The chairman's judgment affirmed the claim of overvoting, while the member one's judgment agreed with our position as captured by the BVAS machine as the primary source of accreditation, data of true accreditation on the day of the election. The reality of my election as the governor of Osun State is captured in the member one's judgment. The claim of overvoting in the chairman's judgment was unfounded. This was clearly a miscarriage of justice. I repeat, this was clearly a miscarriage of justice. Based on the above, there was no majority judgment. I repeat, based on the above, there was no majority judgment. My good people of Osun State, I am still your governor. I have the right of appeal on the chairman's judgment, and I have instructed my lawyers accordingly. You gave me your mandate. Our election remains valid, and by the grace of God, we will triumph at last. I call on you all to remain calm and go about your normal activities peacefully. Please remain law-abiding. We have strong faith in God and in our judiciary. God bless you all. God bless Osun State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all.
So this was in January. Then afterward, it went on to the appeal. It went on appeal. And it was during the appeal that the whole evidence were finally kind of reviewed. The report of the BVAS indeed was reviewed. PDP overvoted in their area, APC overvoted in their area, and when they balanced them up, APC still lost. So, having established that, so the journey was for the Supreme Court to be as the final arbiter. I mean, nobody waited, they call them arbiter. I mean, abinga, whatever, arbiter. With the final jurisdiction on it and the final rule, APC approached the Supreme Court. When they got to the Supreme Court, they said, indeed, the BVAS machine, which happened to be the golden, the golden lens that has discovered the tiniest particle that has become so relevant in proving that elections were rigged. Well, they were rigged by both, but there were also valid voting them. Some of them suppressed in the final figure. Others were like inflated as usual. So when they balanced the voting up based on, the fact is, it is said based on what can be seen, not what is imagined. And the only way they can find something that can be seen is the BVAS, still using their own electoral acts. Something everybody said, that's, anyway, we'll come back to that. So the ruling came today that indeed Adeleke is the governor. And just like last year in July, same scenario. And let me explain something to you. If some of you are watching them there, roll on the floor and the rest of that, let me explain something to you. Nigerians are the most easiest people to rule. Do you know that? In this whole world, Nigerians are the easiest people to rule. Just give them infrastructure, give them power, and they will do the rest. You see those who are rolling on the floor for 12 straight years under APC, Egbekegbe, Osun State is always put as one of the #1 poorest states in Nigeria. In fact, it became something like the state policy that you will be working, but you will remain impoverished when you are not paid. And if you are ever paid, you get paid half of your salary. It was like that. It was like they made them believe that they are sacrificing for the future of their children. That the reason why they are like cash strapped in that state was because the government of the state was investing in something that will eventually work for their children. They were running into debt. APC, Egbekegbe. And Baba, within a space of 6 months, Ade Jackson, Governor Ade Dancer, has cleared outstanding unpaid salaries. So salaries, something that is actually like the smallest of what a worker should benefit after working, right? Before anything else, so salary became luxury. APC, Egbekegbe, a progressive party, a Yoruba progressive people, those who deceived the people with Awolowo this, Awolowo that, they were subjected the people to an extreme poverty, and they made them believe that they are making sacrifices. Why they are siphoning their money? Like there was no money in Osun. At a point, Tinubu went to Osun to go and tell them and said, "You don't have my money." Like, what money do you have in Osun? You don't have anything in Osun. I'm only here to help you. All of you will remember that. But this guy, Dancer, people started asking, where is he getting all this money from? He said, well, I'm not getting the money from anywhere new. I just blocked the loophole. All these years, Alpha Beta is the one collecting our tax in Osun. And therefore, you know where the money goes to? Lagos. All I did was just to stop them from collecting all our taxes in Osun. And we started collecting them ourselves. And before you know it, we had enough to offset Billions of unpaid debt. Baba, this guy don't pay over 30 billion naira in outstanding salary. Like the Osun people that were not so used to getting their money paid anymore. Like they have kind of been accustomed to that suffering, that hardship in the name of APC. Almost salary became something that is like a miracle. So you want to remove him by court again and take them back to Egypt. So you could understand their reactions now. And like I said, Nigerians are the easiest people to lead. They have just been like bedeviled with evil leaders, which are mostly the reflection of theirs too. Because your leaders are the reflection of you. Don't let us lie to ourselves. No matter how much we try to kind of sympathize with the victims. So back to the story. After the announcement, as usual, the governor spoke. Let's add that before I kind of explain what I wanted you to see in that judgment, and before you start adding yours in the parliament from Osun.
A kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ BBC News Yorùbá kábọ̀ sí orí ìkànnì.
You can push your mic forward. Oh, the ball on Tiago. It's okay. Keep short now. Please keep silent so that Excellency can speak. Huh? Keep short. Okay, Beres. Let's move down. Let's move back. When you're ready, let me know. Set.
Yes, we are.
This one.
Hello. Oh yeah. Hello.
Okay. Today is an historic landmark in the history of Osun politics. Today is the day our God ordained to stamp his authority as the owner and giver of power. Today is that moment when the will of the people ordained by God survived the anti-masses plot of powerful forces. We therefore celebrate God Almighty, the author and finisher of our faith. We dedicate today victory to him as we finally assume the governorship of this great state of living spring. State power is of God, and he bestows it on whoever he wishes. I will remain God-driven, divinely inspired, governing with the fear of God. Our governorship is an affirmation that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our victory is a testimony that peoples we backed by the divine will can withstand and survive plot of anti-democratic.
So, after, God, their politician always kind of refer to, okay, even when they commit electoral fraud. If to say that was so little, it will also be referring to God too. But for this guy, his own is kind of, understandable. Sure, you get. The Osun people, they are like that abused, partner in a relationship. You know, you have a partner, it could be a man, it could be a woman, right? So you are in an abusive relationship, and the whole world is telling you to endure. Endure. You are abusive relationship is when you are being like fully, and they are telling you to endure. Then finally, you summon courage to say, no, we are done, I'm done. And you move. You don't know what's going to happen, but you just want to gamble it. You know what I mean? That's exactly the situation of the people of Osun. And within the time they tried it, it felt good. Even if Ade Dancer is going to reap them, to them, like I said, Nigerians are easy to govern. I mean, to rule or to govern. Just give them the basic things. Don't take what belongs to them. And they will likely not be interested in what you are doing. They are mostly not going to be interested. And they can follow you like they are blind, but they are not. Sure, you get. But in Nigeria, it seems that your wicked leaders, they found some kind of, joy in watching you in that chronic pains. Somehow. So when they tested him, even if he go do them bad later, at least they don't run away from the one that has been abusing them for long. That it became so hard that they thought it was impossible to escape them. Now, but at the national level, look at this man, Oyenkashi Ikpeazu. That is Adeleke's lawyer. Now, here is the twist. I hope I won't get into the mood too much so that I will forget that we're having the People's Parliament, okay? But here is the twist to the bigger picture now. A lot of obedience, strongly, they have read the Constitution, they have read the Electoral Act, they have kind of follow things up in some level legally, and somehow they are so confident that something will happen. And there are other things too that are encouraging them. Here it is. In Osun, where the INEC, BVAS, and all of this technology stuff that they are not just suggestions, they are actually law. So what the Supreme Court proved there was that this issue of BVAS, machine, and PVC, all these things, voters, transmission of results, and all those things that you are hearing every now and then, they are not just policies. They are actually backed by law. So how could you prove that? Because they believe that INEC is the one who is in the position to say what is their rule and what is not their rule, and which of their rule they want to use. That's the general impression. But what the Supreme Court has proved is that no, INEC, you may have your rule, but this is actually like a precedent. Something that decided this case, which means it's become your law. Well, here is the part of the twist which I am talking about. In Osun, it was the APC that took PDP to court. And the PDP lawyer is playing defense, while APC lawyer was playing attack. So the APC lawyer is Tinubu's lawyer. Oletola's lawyer is Tinubu's lawyer. Ade Dancer's lawyer, PDP lawyer, is Peter Obi's lawyer. Now, this Peter Obi's lawyer with obedience is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to electoral electoral cases in Nigeria. He has his teeth cut in that, right? Not only him, one of them. So they said he's never lost a case. And because of this, the obedience, when they got the news of Osun today, it kind of elated them a lot, because this man that is now the counsel to Obi, as well as Olanipekun, who is the counsel to Tinubu, they were both the ones who led the team that slugged it out on Osun election at the Supreme Court today. We're from the record ahead. But here is the difference. In the case of Tinubu and the rest, Tifnumbu's lawyer will be playing a defense. And coming from this BVAS case that they have been dragging from last year, so to Obi's team, it is a boost. It's like they already kind of build a case around that BVAS, controversial IREF, and the rest of them. So they've already built a case around that with Adeleke. But the difference again is this. In the case of Adeleke, it was like Tifnumbu's, Oletola's APC. They were fighting what INEC declared. So INEC was on the side of Adeleke. Therefore, whatever it was that Adeleke needed to defend the announced result by INEC, I want to believe they gave him everything. In the case of Peter Obi, Tifnumbu, Atiku, and the rest, INEC is playing a defense. They announced Tifnumbu as winner, and they are keeping the evidence of the results from the public. They are not cooperating with anyone. They are actually, people have to go to court to get injunction, to get INEC to give them the materials of, you announce somebody result. The results, the figure is out there. Tifnumbu scored 8-point-something million. Atiku scored 6-point-something. Obi scored 6-point-something. Now, bring the evidence of that result, INEC. And INEC is not turning up. So INEC is ready to sabotage it and ruin it. But others are saying, is this? I say, okay, I just want you to remember that part. When I saw how happy and kind of motivated a lot of you are, I thought, let that be part of this People's Parliament conversation, where others can actually, it's always very interesting when you participate in the People's Parliament. There are people all over the world who are also very good in observing and, in fact, in disseminating critical, points from a singular event that can help to widen our perspective, open your eyes, and indeed get you to understand better. So these are my own views, and I'm not going to give a verdict of what's to be expected. I'll leave that to all of you, the participants in this parliamentarian tonight. This parliament tonight. However, there is a clip. This clip is from the United States of America, and that is of my own, our own Farotimi Dele. So I will share that partly, and afterward, just look at the comment section, okay? I will leave the link to the studio there if you haven't really copied it. Now, the rules is this. After this video, it's like presentation by Dele Farotimi, and it's so relative to this issue of we will get our mandate back. People are saying that maybe they just sacrificed Osun, and then so as to make you have a faith in the judiciary. There could be speculation. There could be conspiracy theories. And let me tell you something about conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory is not a bad thing. Do you get that? When you hear something about conspiracy theory, no. See, conspiracy, people conspire for power. They conspire on a lot of things. If you are privy to them, right, and you have an idea of information of what they are actually up to, that you expose that sometimes things that we say freely here, they are actually things that people keep as big secrets. So when we talk about them so freely, like they are just nothing, most of the time, it actually forces them to change direction. It's like people are aware about this. Let's redo it so this way. Sure, you get. So at the end of the day, we'll just be like, but I thought the conspiracy. No. Conspiracy theory is like, you have the theory. What could make APC, Egbe, within their rank, be sabotaging themselves if they really want to keep power? Then you begin to put all of the pieces together. Then you begin to build your theory. Yeah? And that theory, automatically can come with the conspiracy, which is that people are up to something. And I think I can sense it. I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. I don't have the whole picture, but I know they are conspiring on something. That's where your theory comes from. Sorry, that's my own definition, okay? But let's listen to Dele Farotimi. Then afterward, right, check the comment section. And that's going to be the juiciest part, where people are going to be joining. You can join. Don't wait till the end of it like, oh, I'm going to wait for a few hours. You may be joining late and you may not be able to join at all. We're going to stop this exactly in 2 hours, which means if you really are interested, begin to get yourself on. Make sure the device you are going to use, your camera is on, your microphone is mute, your name is well written so that we can address you by that. You will have 5 minutes presentation, no more, no less, at least, yeah? And please, when somebody says something that you disagree with totally, right? You can say that I disagree with that position, but here is why. You don't have to attack anybody. We call it a parliament, and we have a lot of people that will be watching. So, Dele Farotimi, what did he say? Let's take a listen.
I owe Mr. Oko a big thank you very much for the invitation, and Adeleke US for the effort. Thanks to those who are in attendance. I was given the privilege of speaking to something that has been on my mind for some time, but I believe it is very important for the location of this discussion today. And I picked Nigeria, its democracy, and the subjectification of truth. Nigeria does not, I'm known for my definitions. I love defining. If I'm going to talk to a subject, I want to define it first. And there are 3 key components to what I have chosen. Nigeria, its democracy, and then the subjectification of truth. Nigeria does not require any definition anymore. It's a blessed land, ruined by horrible ruiners who pretend to be rulers. It would be bad enough if what we have in Nigeria are rulers. That would be bad enough. Rulers exist in time. They focus on preservation of power, and they are rarely burdened or bridled by vision. They are content with surviving in power. That is what rulers do. Leaders, on the other hand, are bridled by vision. So they see beyond their lifetime, and they are constrained by their vision in the choices that they would make. Unfortunately for my country, as blessed as it is, it has been cursed by ruiners. Never been blessed with leadership. That is Nigeria properly defined. It's democracy, and that will lead me to the third part of what I want to talk about, the subjectification of truth. How do you subjectify truth? That is when you take a common precept, something that has universal application and meaning, and you bring it into a space, and it begins to have a different meaning because of the space of its application. That is the situation with Nigerian democracy, because you actually have to Nigerianize what we have before you might call it a democracy. Democracies are impossible to have in environments where the law does not rule. Citizenship is impossible to uphold in environments devoid of the rule of law. Nigeria is one such environment. In the absence of the rule of law, Nigeria is ruled by impunity. And that is why you would have situations where INEC would publish guidelines flowing from the Constitution, and it will proceed to do the exact opposite of what it had promised to do. But that is for the Nigerian audience. Because of the context of location, we must now talk to the subjectification of truth. Atlanta was my point of entry into the US on this particular trip. And as I was being driven to where I would be staying, I drove past a place and it was pointed out to me that that was MC Mushroom Pickens' house in Riverdale, Atlanta.
Oh wow!
A man could stand in broad daylight,
Very close to my house.
cameras on him, and you could tell the world, Yachukudi must not vote He spoke as the state. The Nigerian state is criminal. MC Mushroom Pikin is not a government official, but there was a policeman stood not too far away from him when he made his edict. And that edict stood. And we saw it in its full ramification on the 18th of March. But how does this relate to the context of our location, the location of this discourse? Our American friends will tell us we have a democracy, and that is why Nigeria must be protected and everything must be kept quiet. We must have peace. They speak peace to us, but they never talk to us about justice. Those who run Nigeria bring their wealth to this land, and you give them succor. They carry your green cards, they carry your passports, they buy your citizenship, they buy homes in this place. You convict them here, you release them to Nigeria. If they were drug dealers, members of the Mahane drug cartel, you'd be busy talking about all kinds of sanctions on them. You wouldn't allow them in your country. Yeah. But you have them living here. Their children are here. They ruin my country. I can't live in yours. Yeah. I visit. And when I stay longer than 3 weeks, I'm already having withdrawal symptoms. All I want to do is go back to mine. But you make my country impossible to live in because of your subjectification of the truth. You sit down on a day-to-day basis and you preach down at us and you tell us about just how much democracy works for Africa. But you do everything to undermine our democracy because you give succor to criminals in your cities. I can't open a bank account in America because I'm a Nigerian, but the crooks ruining my country put their monies in your accounts. Mm-hmm. I can't open an account. The only crime is that I'm a Nigerian. A drug indicted criminal is about to become the president of my country, and you Americans are the ones normalizing the insanity. When I speak to the subjectification of truth, it sounds sometimes like, actually it's another word for hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of the Western world, particularly you continue to preach democracy, accountability, rule of law, and the rest to us. Yeah. Your hypocrisy stinks. I'll show you. A couple of years ago, 3 years now actually, there was a massacre in Lagos State, at the Adeleke toll gate to be specific. The West has its highs all over our country. You got your highs in the sky, you're everywhere. We know. You saw what happened. What did the West ever say? I'll tell you. There was a debate in the British Parliament. A certain gentleman, I believe his name is Hart, and he spoke blithely about how when Gowon relocated to the UK, he went to the UK with half of Nigeria's treasury. Well, I'll tell you something. In my tradition, we have a proverb. The thief does not do as much harm as the receiver of the stolen goods. The West has been the net receiver of our stolen commonwealth. You have helped to normalize the madness that has overtaken my country. Without you, we will not be in the mess we are in.
That's right.
When Gowon took the wealth of Nigeria, where did he take it to? Took it to Britain, brought some of it to America, and it is the same. Gowon is merely a type. Every last 2-bit criminal who has occupied public office in my country has one form of entry into this country or others like it behind the veneer of Christian correctness. You sit there and you legitimize evil in my own country. I'll tell you another one. A British general was recalled from retirement, and I believe he was sent to jail in addition to being recalled from retirement and dismissed from the army. What was his offense? He claimed about £50,000 more than he was entitled to in child education benefit. That was what this general did. How many Nigerian generals, civil servants, public officers have brought their monies into your coffers? So please, friends owe their friends the truth. If you guys are truly our friends, talking about Americans now, if you are truly our friends, don't preach at us. Don't tell us about all the wonderful things you could do in collaboration with us. And I say this, madam, because you are about the only one who's cared enough about us to even give us your ear. The fact is, I'm not talking to you as a person. I'm speaking to America as a country, its people, and the institutions that govern this country. The truth of the matter is that you have all these, your wonderful Magnitsky Acts and all of that. Use it to go after the criminals running our country. I'm not coming to your country. Oh, Mr. Oko.
Right. Thank you so much. That's a vintage. I kind of love calling people like that vintage anyway. So yeah, Dele Farotimi, he said a lot, and I hope that will also help my parliamentarians when everybody will begin to make to give their own take. I already have them waiting. Yeah. All my parliamentarians, please, I will advise that get yourselves ready, stay in quiet place where there will be no disturbance, and then keep the camera on and keep the microphone off. So I'll begin to bring everybody on now. And then, like I said, 5 minutes each, drop your take and somebody else will come on and we can go as fast as possible. So if you can make it very conversational, I would love that. Or if you just want to do your thing and go, that's also great. So I'm going to be bringing those I feel like are ready. I can see those who are ready, which means those who have complied with all I said. Keep the camera on, stay in a place where you won't be disturbed, and then we can get started. So I'm beginning to get them back on now. There are loads and loads of people who are there, but who are already there. Hello, everybody. You can wave your hand. You don't need to say much. And I can know you are hearing me and we are hearing ourselves. Thank you. So we have all the parliamentarians here. And if you are obedient, please do us a favor. Please speak from that position of your expectations and the rest so that others can also learn from you. Get to know all the perspective of what you think based on available information. There are people like us who don't believe in their judiciary. You know me very well, okay? But that won't stop me from learning from those of you who actually even probably know more than what I do, and all of us can learn from ourselves, okay? If anybody says something that I kind of feel like is inciting, for example, right? If you are more direct, like kind of misleading information, I can stop you and tell you that, hey, no. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to kind of stop you from speaking. Just make it, entertaining enough and then educative enough as usual. So thank you so much for turning up. I have Jude, who was my first. He's been here the moment I turned on, and then I went and he came back. So Jude is going to be our first parliamentarian tonight. Now I'm going to go on to the UK. So Tunde Femi, sir, you take the next one after UK. Henry Ash, sir, you will go after Femi. And I will come to Sir Tayo Kalejaye. To you, sir, you will go after Henry and Saka Sinti. If you come, please, you will be the one that will take the last shots. Now, for some reason, if your line get disconnected and you drop off, don't worry. Just make an effort to try and get back in. You can still get your slot, or you speak after whoever is speaking the moment you are away, okay? So let's keep it short and simple. Interesting as usual. I'm going to add a few more. I've got Ogbo, Gode. So I have Faith, Okpedo. So now that we have the full screen, so we know the slot. Okay, Saka Sintin, somebody is going to be after you now, which is going to be Ogbo Gode, sir. Then I'm going to go to Faith, Okpedo. You hold the, you are the one that will hold the door. Sure you get. So when we get to yours, now you go be like, after you others go come enter. Please remind me. I do mix things up, okay? Because I get so soaked in the conversation that I don't know who is next. But please, just remind me that, no, Mayegun, it's me. It's fair to say that in case if I jumped you to call on somebody else, okay? So let's get started. Jude, how are you, sir?
Gio, Mayegun, good evening, sir, and good evening to all the parliamentarians. It's nice to be on board. I'm glad to be here today.
Great. So you have the floor. What are we hearing now? Where are you going to, where are you taking us, please?
Well, first of all, I want to say a congratulations to the good people of Osun State for getting their mandate restored. Although I never believed in the process, I was actually expecting something similar to Imo State to actually happen in Osun State, but I am glad that the good people of Osun State got their victory. But regarding the presidency, I must confess, I'm not expecting anything. I am not expecting anything because I know the system. The system knows how to play on the minds of we, the citizens. And just as you always say, Nigeria will always happen to you. If it doesn't happen to you while you are in Nigeria, even those of us that made it to escape the hell in Nigeria, over here, it still happens to us. As long as you're in Nigeria, there's a stigma that goes with you anywhere. Once they see you are Nigeria, red flag. And the drug baron is not yet the president, and we are being treated this way. Just last week, one of our colleagues, a final year student, a medicine student who traveled to the UK for vacation, coming back at the airport, he was bounced back. And one of the reasons they are giving that we are threats to their national security. You can imagine. And nothing is out that. That's what is happening. They don't even issue visas to Nigerians anymore. They now see Nigeria as a threat to their national security. So traveling home is not a big problem to a lot of us here, because nobody wants to risk his life he's having here just to go home, because you going home, your chances of coming back is so slim. And this is a country that we all know that, yes, Nigeria is more resourceful than this country. If Nigeria is to be working, we won't be here. All of us will be back home. Many of us, we have our business back home. But when Nigeria happens to us, we have to leave the business and look for a better life to save ourselves first. So although we are hopeful, but at the same time, I have given myself that conclusion that yes, nothing good can come out from the Supreme Court. They just want to play that abracadabra. Let's give them Osun State and let's take the big cash, which is the presidency. I think that's the game they want to play now. Just as they did in Lagos State. Give Labour Party Lagos State, win the other states. Labour Party win Lagos State, and APC won other states.
Right. You kind of optimistic on one side, and at the same time, you are managing your expectation. I like that. Let me go to the next person, right? I appreciate you, Baba, for the time, okay? So let's, it's still going to be a long list and possibly a long night. Thank you so much for stopping by.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Bless you. So I am going to go to UK, sir. It's your turn.
Hello, Mayogu. Is it me?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for all the great job you'll be doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I also want to wish the Osun people a very wonderful result today, because I can see from what I can see from your video, people jubilating, people dancing on the floor. I would say how people like good governance, or when they expect things to change. Because Osun State is a state I've been following. I've taken time to look at their state. Too much people are working, they're not paying them. I know about 2 friends from Osun State that told me they were paying them half salary. So you can see. One time I spoke to you.
Yes.
I called you to tell you that what Nigeria needs is strong institution and also system. Immediately I dropped the call. I read from the comment. People were saying, different things. Well, because I was trying to tell them that if you come to abroad, there's a lot of, it's not about Yibo, Yoruba. When we have good institution and system, everybody follow the rules. Everybody will be happy. People don't know that. Why people are clamoring for separation or whatever you call it, or marginalization, because of the people who are politicians are not doing the right thing. Well, like this country now, nobody knows where the person that is ruling them here, the prime minister, is from. Is an Indian guy or Pakistan. Nobody complain. I don't even know where my MP come from. But why people start asking where is this person coming from? It's because of that there's no system in place. So when it comes to the issue of the tribunal, I'm so sorry. I don't know how. Sometimes I imagine how would Tinubu escape all these things, because the charges are too much, And if you look, you are talking about 25%. You are talking about drugs. You are talking about identity. You are talking about disqualification of Chetima, holding selectorals before he went, and you are talking of INEC not following electoral guidance according to what they said. So in fact, if this man can escape this, because it's going to be hard, he must surely be napped in one of them. You know what I mean? So to the extent that either he's disqualified or there's going to be a rerun, because I don't see him escaping. Because Tinubu, let me tell you, if we talk about identity, if we talk of, he's always involved in all these things. The man does not have identity. Someone who doesn't have identity, someone who have drug case, is there. It's not as if you are fabulating anything. We're lying. We're trying to put it on his neck. These are facts, documented facts. And the man has not come out and dispute them. So the only thing I'm just not happy with, electoral, this need to change. Because when it's swearing somebody, they can do like the one they do in Kenya. Make it fast. Because when you swear this man in, you can see they have started dividing posts, everything, everything. So when the next person comes, it's very hard to undo some of the things in case if at all they are going to unturn it. But if they can do it rapidly, so that it doesn't need to choose the government who are going to be in charge of Senate or anything like that. So but I just hope they will do it, because the case of 25% is very easy. You don't need to call any evidence. You can look at it a day. You know what I mean? So things like that. There's many ones they can sort within 1 week. So the one of manipulative will be saying, okay, you win, or that one will take time. So I
Thank
just
you,
wish the
Harry. Let's go to another person.
Okay.
Very much for that contribution, which is strong institutions. Strong institutions will kind of put an end to many agitation, because wrong done by people can be corrected by them, and they can stand and maybe stop others from repeating same. I kind of feel like we got the whole thing mixed up earlier. UK's place got taken by Henry. I was wondering why is his sleep not moving? Unfortunately, we lost that slot. However, I hope UK will come back and take his slot. So here we go. Who is next? I think that would be Tunde Femisa. Is that you?
Yes, that's me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And after you will be Sir Tayo Kalejaye, and we'll go on like that. So I'm going to add other people too, but it will be when the number kind of reduce. Okay. So thank you. Sir,
okay.
Your turn, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayegun.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for your support. In fact, what you are doing is priceless. It's priceless. It's giving real hope to us as a Nigerian. Anywhere we are, what you are doing cannot be paid for. Nobody can actually pay for it, because it must be coming from the place of passion for you to be keeping us informed and running this thing unbiased. Is very, very difficult. It's a very difficult task to be doing this if you don't really have the real passion. I must really appreciate your effort and where this energy is coming from. If you're a Christian, I will say where this anointing is coming from, we not run dry. You know, basically, I love the passion and the continuous passion to continuously just help us to help the country for us to be on the right path. Because the truth is, if you look at it, every type of resources you are looking for in this world, we have it in Nigeria.
We do.
Is it human resources? Is it materials? Is it land mass? Is it water? Is it waterways? Whatever you can think of, we have it. It's just quite unfortunate that the only thing we don't have is good leadership. Our leaders have just decided to be an enemy to the nation, to sit on the resources, and to just make sure they take whatever they like. So Nigeria is like a marketplace. Everybody goes there, you take your own, I take it, we negotiate it. If you can see what is happening now, we are talking of things that are viable. People are just fighting over position. Who will be the Senate president? Who will be zoned? Who will not be zoned? Who is there? You know, that is the negotiation going on. It's quite unfortunate. But just to really focus on the election has come and we are now in court. Honestly, I am very, very optimistic. I'm very optimistic that something is going to come out of the court. I'm one of the few, if I believe is many,
I don't think you are
many people that believe that the outcome of what will come out from the court is going to favor us, we Nigerians. There is no, because they have done everything. Just the way you used to say, they will touchlight us. They touchlight us. They've done whatever they can do in terms of just trying to divert our attention the way they used to do it, the usual way. In less than few weeks, we are not supposed to even be talking about this. As you know, our regular pattern rigging. They've been rigging since 1960. We will just go back to our normal default mode. But in this one, it's not business as usual.
No.
So what are we encourage the obedient to continue to do is to do what they know how to do best. I am telling you, we need continuous surprises. Honestly, the only thing that APC and Tinubu are not ready for is the surprises that came up by the emergence of Obi. Assuming they are aware of Obi in the last 3-4 years, I trust Tinubu. He will have finished either the party, the system. You will even realize that Abure will be his man. Assuming he knows. But they were not aware. So the only thing to keep this tempo is for obedient to change the dynamism of surprises. We have to do it in a way that they cannot catch up. That is the only way. And they are really, really trying. And I believe we need to just increase that tempo. As if you give room for rational, for them to rationalize and put the chess game on board, they will definitely win the game. But continuous surprises, just the way Obi came, and I'm happy that the counsel to Obi is the one that has really led the case of Osun. And to me, he has gained expertise in that area. And with the obedient and some of the Nigerians, we are all touchlighting and seeing the whole reality. It will be difficult for them to go otherwise. It will be difficult. Those countermeasures they used to use is not going to be applicable in this case. Right. I am very optimistic that the victory will come, that there will be the way the whole entire Nigeria has cried during that election night because of the massive rigging. That is how we are going to jubilate the moment that announcement comes.
Well, that's powerful.
I'm very, very optimistic. And well, people are believing that it's not going to happen. They are going to do it the usual way. It cannot see. Don't let me deceive you. These guys are scared.
I can tell.
If you notice something, Dino Melaye used to say that I pray the elite will not experience the anger of the poor. They are very, very scared of this anger of the poor. And don't let me deceive you. If anything go this thing, they cannot manage it. How are you going to handle 200 million people? They all know the consequence. Even the leaders, the likes of the Obasanjo and co, know the consequences of not managing this thing very well. They all know. That is why they are trying to come up with a lot of things. And it shows that people want to form an interim government. It will start by protest. It's just to stop, to put us in the same status quo. We have to bring up surprises that they have never even imagined. That
Thank
is
you
the
so
only
much.
way, what they have not planned for.
Thank you so much, sir.
From me, I think we are on the right path, and I'm very optimistic that we are going to get that mandate back. And the whole of us, we will all jubilate.
Yes, I see. I believe you. Because a lot of people actually wanted that. And that's one thing about the People's Parliament, okay? Where you can take us to a different perspective. And a lot of people are watching you. And maybe that's actually what they wanted to hear this evening, to say, yes, there is hope. Thank you for doing that for us, okay?
All right.
I am going to go to the next person. And you can continue watching with us. Here we go. Sir Tayo Kalejaye, sir. It's going to be your turn. If that's okay, please.
All right. Respect to you, political, and greetings to you all, my parliamentary members.
Thank you, sir.
I don't have much to say. I'm a highly preservative person, but I always love hitting the nail on head.
Be my guest. I love that.
The truth is very bitter. And when you start for something so cogent, you must surely be enmity to a lot of people. One thing that makes this your program so special and make me to have much interest is you are extremely preserved and always been accurate with your words. There is no need of playing hanky-pranky or hula-baloo to ourselves when it comes to the realities. When people were placed in the position to do something and they kept on failing, purposely, they determined to kept on failing. It wasn't as if the system is not able to work or is not workable. Things they make as a big deal over there is nothing down here. We've been here, we've been part of the system, we knew how things work. I don't know the excuses the leadership are making. If people are not ready to do something, it's either you move away and let another person give it a try, then let's see if it is workable or not. I read something on the news early today about the affirmation of Pastor Adeboye, and that could take me in recurrences to what Wole Soyinka said or did when he was invited to Arise News some times back too. I think it's getting to the right period of time that all these old men have to be actuants with what they are saying or what they really stand for. I know a lot of our youth brain has been manipulated because most of them are illiterate. Illiteracy has nothing to do with your exposure. Illiteracy, what they call in recruitment as an illiteracy, is your lack of knowledge about something. You mustn't go to a school before you can be recruited as illiterate or not non-illiterate. When you know the right thing, you don't do, but you know it's the right thing to do and you are omitting it. You can't recruit that as an illiterate. Then when you go to school, you think you are an educated person, and yet you are still pushing forward and fighting for something, for a wrong cause, I can recruit you as an illiterate because it may not be clearable to you because perspective in which we view and see things is quite different.
That's right.
But the most important things is I don't know how people will say the truth and kept on sojourning to be doing the wrong things and making the whole vibrant youth and recreating a nuisance out of the vibrant youth. Most of us get out from that bullshit because Nigeria as a country has almost lost most of their brilliance towards the outside world. Because when you are highly educated and you know what you are doing, and they kept on doing their rubbish things, and you wanted to talk, they are setting up different set of things to make sure they get rid of you or they keep you quiet. So and your spirit couldn't condone the nonsensity they are doing. Is it that you get out? If you can't be part of you have to move out. Because when I was still back home, I was in the mix of friends some times back. Like we are discussing, having a very serious discussion. Then a guy said, I was like, how things is going here, it doesn't curtail, it doesn't make sense. They make everybody to be acting like a mad person. You guys are mad. In fact, if you feel comfortable here, you must be a madman. If you are not a madman, what is switching you on? Because the whole system was depressing. So a guy said, well, if you got there, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. If you can't beat them, join them. I said, this is the madness thing that you guys put yourself. If you can't beat what do you mean you can't beat them? There is always a way to beat them. It's a policy. Life is all about decision. Is either you determine to be poor or you be rich, because it's two-way. The way God created life is in two phases. It's either you determine to be poor or rich. You determine to be a followership or you wanted to be a leader. It's a matter of act and a very severe decision. If you are not ready,
you can do it. So it's by choice.
It's by choice. If you are not ready, you say you are not ready. When you are ready, when I said this is what I want to do, nobody changes. Even the wife that I married to know me. It may take time. I don't give a fuck. That is, I make my decision. And when I'm talking, you keep quiet. Because I will surely take responsibility for every action that I took as a man. That is what really determines you to be a man. So all this religious madness, lunaticness they are displaying, one old man will just stand on a pulpit and said, he will do it. The person is even indirectly conversing for, is he a Christian? Let's put the religion aside. Does the person even believe in God himself? Because if you believe in God, there's some certain things you don't do.
That's right.
People kept on rolling on the dice of a satanic way. And you because Oshiba Joe is going to the church, or the man's wife is a member or a pastor in his church or whatsoever. So this has nothing to do with religious. This has nothing to do with tribe. Am I not Yoruba? But I don't give a fuck. Just do the right thing. And as much as the fact you don't do, because of all these nonsense things, Sunday Igboho was being chased out of the country. Nnamdi Kanu was being locked in jail. The same panel in the name of whatsoever judges setting up whatsoever things. They knew that the man, so-called president, foretells against their judgments because the man was still being locked in the prison. And they are saying, they'll be calling themselves lawyers. The country is being messed up. But if people talk, they will say you are talking. If you don't talk, they'll be recessing you as a fool. But the fact is that the way God created us is quite different.
It does.
Me, as a person, I stand for justice. I don't give a fuck. But my own is, if I be in the midst of people that I see the ideology is uncurtailing, is abnormal to what I percept, and I try to convince positively to offer you a positive thing, we can reason together, and you decide not to, I will move out. That is just one thing about me.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
But I always stand by my words.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. I mean, you fed us with that tonight, and then it's going to be on record too. Thank you so much. Just because of our time, I'm going to go to the next person. Thank you very much for kind of creating that time to stop by and do this for us. I appreciate you, sir, Tayo. So let's get on to our next person, which I believe is going to be Opedu, sir, with Faith. Please, you can unmute, and that will be your shot, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much for joining
my
us.
My good, you're a great man. I love you. Yes. Thanks, my fellow Scottish man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're in Scotland together. Yeah, a quick one. Mine does 3 points anyway. One is to get the Northerners involved. Because since the Northerners youth are not much involved in this movement. Because once they are involved, we're enlightened, we're campaign to them what is actually going on. They will turn around to follow this movement. Because when the Northerners youth join this force, my brothers, my parliament men, these guys cannot do nothing. They will be scared of everybody. Because they feel that since the youth in the North are not part of this movement 100%, they still feel they still have control of what is going on. That is one. That means the Northern youth need to be well enlightened, to be educated. More things need to be, resources need to get down to the up north to enlighten the youth up there that their leaders there are not giving a shit what is going on with them.
They don't.
They are not there for themselves. You look throughout the federation, the North are staying the lowest point also than the South. But money goes up there, but they don't use it for themselves. They don't use it for the Northerners. So my point was that let the Northern youth get involved. Enlightenment should get across to them. Then my second point is what is going on in the parliament, in the tribunal. Honestly, for it to be more transparent, a live recording viewing should be allowed in that place, so that the world can see what is going on.
Said that, but they are not taking it. I like that. They should stream it live.
Stream it live, because if they don't do that, we can't know who is who. We can't know who is who because a lot of shady things go behind the scene. When you see the body language, you know, oh, this guy is for the truth. Because this time now, we need the truth must come out. We cannot be silent any longer at all. We don't care who you are. No matter any award you have gotten before, this time we need the truth to save Nigeria. If there's no truth, then let's just break up. Simple as that. We are suffering. People are suffering. People are suffering. These guys, they don't have, they don't think at all. They don't have any brain. They only does to collect billions upon billions. The other will say that you want to make happy hour every Friday. Can you just a campaign slogan is for happy hour? Yeah. This is how dull they are. They can't think. Then my third point is the international community, the Europe, UK, America. I don't know if Obi can enter. You should try to meet the UN people. They should put a law. Any leader from Nigeria, civil servant, transferring money to Europe should be called back immediately. And that person should go to jail at least 20 years. So they know that, because that will not be attractive for them to start stealing public funds any longer.
Make the query mad to them.
Yes! So that thing is too small for him. To me, 30 years. Who will like imprisonment for him? Because that guy is wicked. He siphoned a lot of money that was to bring to the University Teaching Hospital in Enugu. He siphoned those money.
And when I heard this story, now another vibe, students brought an idea. They wanted to build a modern, medical center.
Hospital.
And they said that they should, how much is it going to cost? And they told him it was going to cost them about 250 million to build. Them to go and double the money.
Double the money, and you collected it.
And then he took it to Abuja, 500 million. Abuja budget and the rest. And he collected the money. And they never heard about the project again.
So just imagine lives were lost. If that thing has been in place, it would have saved lives.
So he got the price kidney now, like Gary.
It should be, to me, if I were that judge, life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. So that's the third point, my brothers.
You do well. Thank you so much, Faith. It's been a pleasure having you too. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go to another, well, I think I've got Sakasintin before I then go to others, okay? Sakasintin, Ifekam. I don't know if I pronounce that right. Yo, that's you.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me too?
Okay. My good Baba, the Grito.
At the hill. From
yeah, this is my first time coming live, but I started following you during this election cycle.
Oh,
so it's good to finally speak to you.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Okay, what I want to speak about is the whole situation in Nigeria. So put it this way. They said when focus is broken, when you know, a man becomes a wanderer. So the problem in Nigeria is every one of them. I'm sorry to put it this way. I have so many family members there, but the way I'm looking at it is every single person that I feel like even we in the West, right? We in the diaspora, we care more about Nigeria as a country, as an entity, than the people living there. I'm sorry to make it look harsh, but that to me, that's I think what's pissing me off the most, because they all live there. I think one of the reasons is because they've not been outside Nigeria, so they don't know the difference. They don't know, you know, how infrastructure, how a place is supposed to be run and all those things. When I first moved to the US in the early 2000s, right, I looked at the situation here and looked at Nigeria. I said the difference between the West and Nigeria is leadership and management. If you can get those two things together, you can fix Nigeria. You know, so you can also take Dubai as an example. 20 years ago, Dubai is not what it is now. But the thing is, they had a leadership. If you have, I mean, if you go back to even China, 30 years ago, China was a dumpster, right? But because they have consistency in leadership and they have a plan together, manage it properly, they got to where they are today. But in Nigeria, the past 20 years since I've been in America, I don't think they've moved even 1 inch forward, because it's been one bad leader after another, after another, after another. And I think the people are allowing these leaders to do these things. That's why they keep doing it. Because if they don't allow it, it won't be that way. Look at Ukraine today, right? Ukraine at some point was very corrupt. It was like Russia. But the people in Ukraine decided to start dumping their politicians in the dumpster and running after them and beating their politicians on the street. That's the only reason they changed and switched towards proper democracy. That's why Russians got mad and started fighting them, because they don't want their people to see the benefit of democracy and how rapid improvement is going on there. That way the people in Russia will not turn around and start stoning their politicians as well and start throwing them in the dumpster for them to do the right thing, right? So they decide to go into war with them. So it takes me back to the Nigerian problem. I don't think the people living in Nigeria, most of them don't care. And even if you look at this obedient movement, it started with the people in diaspora. Because if you remember at some point, right, even this guy that went to jail right now in UK, Jeremiah, whatever his name is, at some point, Nigerians in diaspora was running after the politicians that come to visit and running after them and even beating some of them, right? So that is the start. That was the original start of the semi-revolution that is happening in Nigeria now, because Nigerians overseas started dealing with the politicians when they come overseas. That's why they decided to change a little bit. And the ones in Nigeria picked up, the young people in Nigeria, after the NSAS issue, decided to pick it up and continue with this team. That's why you have the obedient movement. But it started with people from the West first.
They call them the angry Nigerians. They said that they know that they are angry. They are upset with the system. But Obi is like leveraging on that, because, you know, so if you know they are angry, they are upset, why are you calling them fascists? Why are you trying to gaslight them? Why not address their anger? Some things that, you know, some questions that does bother me, to say, you know, they are angry Nigerians. You know why they are angry, because of bad leadership. Why should you label them to kill them rather than address that because of that anger. Leadership, you called it.
Yes. So again, it takes me back to why people navigated towards Obi, because they know this guy is focused. He has a vision, and he was willing to talk to the people and made himself or made people to know that he understood what they are going through, right? So that's why everybody went towards him and decided to stick with him, to use him to get what, at least to move Nigeria forward. So let's assume, the only way to fix Nigeria, you need 20 solid good years of consistent good leadership for that country to move from where it is today to become one of the other countries in the world that are, I mean, look at India today. India is rapidly improving because of Narendra Modi, right? He has been there now for a while. He has vision and is channeling the vision to the right things. That's why it looks like India is even at some point right now in America, right? They're trying to move away from production and all these things from China because of the situation in China, right? And most of these things, they are moving it to India now because they know, okay, they have the cheap labor in India and they can get things done through India without having hostility with India, right? So that's why it looks like in America now, they are moving away from China. They can't move to Africa because there's cheap labor in Africa, but because of the bad leadership, they won't move to Africa. And if you come to South and Central America, the same bad leadership, you have the cocaine problem, you have the Mexican cartels and all those things. They can't move their production to these places because of all these things going on. You know what I mean? So they are moving slightly to India. But at the same time, I'm telling you, Nigerian problem, I feel like we in the diaspora, we care more about the problem than the people that actually live there. Until they decide and start stoning the politicians on the streets and start running after them and beating them and even kidnapping their family members and taking them hostage, Nigeria is not going to change. The politicians are not going to change because there's no consequences for their bad behaviors. That's why they keep consistently raping the people of their resources and getting away with it.
There is no punishment for bad behavior. They get rewarded in Nigeria until there is punishment for bad behavior. I love that. Sakasintin. Thank you so much. Yeah,
my brother, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate your program. I'll continue watching and tell people to continue watching because I feel like this is the only way we in the West or we in the diaspora can vent our anger and frustration towards the country and come together as like minds.
It will be an opportunity for them as well to read the pulse of us in the diaspora too. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Long
bless you. So I am going to go now to Sir Ogbo Godday.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine, my good general.
Yes, sir. You are welcome.
It's been a while, like forever. I don't know. Don't say why I call you. I don't remember when. About 2 years ago.
We are doing it again.
Yeah. Parliamentarians, I greet you all.
Greet you too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kensington took the word, like trying to take it from my mouth. And then honestly, I would start from where I'll start from where he stopped.
Sorry, I'll get that fixed. Somebody is interrupting you. I wanted to mute them, but you can continue. I've taken them out.
Thank you. Yeah, now, sometime ago, like 3-4 years ago, I was with my friends. We just a gist. And I just want to say, even if you carry Obama come Nigeria, come president, Obama go fail. And I sat down and I reasoned and said, wow, this is too shallow. Why is that? Because Nigeria don't get structure. When politicians talk of structure, they don't talk of structure how to develop the country. They talk of structure of structure of criminality, like Obi will say. So when they talk of structure, they talk of the criminal minds and how they can keep perpetuating themselves in power. But can I shock you?
Shock us.
America is so structured such that even if the president disappears, there's something to take care of that gap.
Yes.
Whatever happens. So the system runs seamlessly. So the point I'm trying to make, anything but Buhari. I spoke with a friend of my friends recently, and they said, Kolu, Obi, and Atiku, whoever wins would be far better than Buhari. And then I sat down and I said, is this possible? But you know what? As I'm saying this now, I just recalled one discussion I had on this WhatsApp chat. I was chatting with some friends, old friends like our alumni. We were chatting in secondary school. So we were chatting, and one of them said, "No worry, you go see what Buhari go do. He go turn Nigeria to El Dorado." That was the last time I visited that group, because it's like reinforcing failure. After failing massively, first 4 or 3 years, and then you are telling me he will turn Nigeria to El Dorado.
Shim up again.
Nigerians, really? Really? I just disassociated myself from that group. And I won't bother to ask him because it's already 4 years now. I went to ask him, hey, buddy, it's 4 years now. What the El Dorado you claim, is it now? Is it there now?
Enter there, or we are still on the road. Are we there?
On the road. And one of your themes that you always post, we say, and we know the difference. How do you call it? Nigeria will see the difference. The difference, retrogression.
We actually did a difference. So if we all of us want to confess, so
I agree with you.
Because Nigeria don't remain the same again. No, Nigeria are not the same again.
Yeah? I agree with you, honestly.
Change Nigeria. They did change Nigeria. It's just that they said people didn't ask them when they were shouting change. They didn't ask what kind of change. Or they said, don't worry, you will find out. Now everybody has found out.
You exactly. Now I don't have any personal grudges with Buhari, honestly. I like him as a person, although he tried to honestly, maybe he's honest, I don't know. But it's terrible. However, I've observed also that he wasn't the problem from beginning. From prior to he came in 1983 to solve a problem that sort of he claimed that the corruption in Nigeria. He tried to solve the problem, but he wasn't the problem. The problem Nigeria had and we still have is because there is no structure. The system is not designed to last
and do whatever you want.
Yes, do whatever you want. So even if Obi had won, straight off the ballot, everybody jubilated. There's no way he's not gonna do anything spectacular. For example, as we speak today, the minority is the majority. That's a problem.
And that's a problem.
It's a big problem. How are they going to get out of that minority being the majority in both houses? If all the minority come together, they become the majority. That's not going to, nobody's going to be a good president with that kind of structure. How's he going to pass a bill?
Yeah. Baba.
So Nigeria is going to be in disarray for the next 4 years, and it's not fun.
Everybody's going to just do whatever they want. You're right.
But you want somebody there with pulling the strings, and the president will say, let's do this. And imagine, Akolo is still there and picking whoever is going to be this and who gets that. And that.
Like you said, these are supposed to be institutions to checkmate one another, right? Exactly. If one arm is choosing the leadership of the other arms, where's the check and balance?
We're just done.
You know what I mean? It's going to be, sorry, go on.
It's done. The last dude, what's his name? I don't want to mention his name. The rubber stamp guy. Who was approving money still tomorrow. And he's not going to be there in less than 2 to 3
weeks. He'll be gone.
He'll be gone.
Let me go to the next person so that the list is there.
Right. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thanks, Baba. I appreciate this. And you all made this platform the best. Because you know what, right? This is content creation.
Right.
At best. Where everybody unscripted. Not that you've been tutored or anything, where you are like confident enough and bold enough to express how you feel about the development in Nigeria. Raw content. So I have to give the thanks to all of you, even though you always kind of say, this and that, but you are the best. Baba, let me go to the next person. Until the next time. Thank you. So let's go to Citizen Oluwatoyin. Finally. Thanks so much for your patience, okay? I haven't really shared the other slot with other parliamentarians who have joined us, but I think we should do that. I have one parliamentarian that hasn't been able to stay, and that's Paul. Somehow maybe it's network, it just never stayed. It keeps dropping and dropping. So I'll stick with all of us here. So after Citizen Oluwatosin, I'm gonna go to Unwachuku Ebere. Brother, I will come to you, sir. Then I'm gonna go to Osazele. I hope I pronounced that right. So then I'm gonna go to Kenneth. Lawrence, Sir Lawrence. That will be you, Ken. Hanging there as usual. Then I'm gonna go to Our Lady. Mama is back. Layo Ajayi. We were still talking about you. The last time you came here, you left an indelible mark. A lot of us remembered you. Guess what? A lot of them are going to be looking forward to what you have for us tonight. Okay, ma? So, and then, Osita, you have broken the brother code. You don't break code. You don't bring your face out. Finally, there is going to be a face behind that voice. It's going to be an interesting night, okay? So, because I've discovered that Our Lady is with us, immediately after Citizen Oluwatosin, she would take your slot a bit, but not your slot per se, just a bit of a shift. We kind of have that tradition here, right? We let the ladies. We don't keep the ladies waiting. Sure you get. So we want them to be here, and then they can continue with other things. So, Citizen AY, sir, I am coming to you. It's usually 5 minutes, okay? And whatever you can do within that time, you can be our guest. Baba, so over to you. Hang on. Somehow, it seems something is wrong with that microphone. You are speaking, right? You're talking, but we can't hear you. Or is it just me? Check it. You're muted. It could be the headset. Yeah, it could be the microphone from the headset. You can hear me, but it doesn't seem we can hear you.
How is it now?
Oh, it's better now. Great.
Okay. Thank you very much,
You're so welcome.
General.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. Thanks for the platform. Thanks for the platform, because what I'm going to talk about now, we will have had to pay a lot of money to get the same platform. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin. I'm a Nigerian. I'm based in UAE, Dubai. And talking about everything that is happening in Nigeria, I don't know if any Nigerian outside Nigeria is being impacted by what is happening in Nigeria, as in the incompetency of the Nigerian government. I don't know if any other person is being affected, like Nigerians that are living in Dubai. For almost 2 years now, we have been without work permit and visa. And a lot of people have lost their job. A lot of people have lost their family. A lot of people have lost their loved ones. And a lot of things is happening to us. We just hope that the next administration that is coming, whoever that person will be. In our own case, I've seen our fellow parliamentarian talking tonight and said, this person will enter, that person will enter. In our own case, we don't mind who will become the president now. We just need someone to replace the dummy we have there now. Because the people we have there now, they have shown that they are not in any way capable of leading even a local government. We have continually been in this country now suffering, and our government have turned their back on us. And each other time they have the opportunity to appear on TV and they are asked about the issue between the Nigerian government and the Dubai government, they lay all the blames on we Nigerians that are suffering, that are living in this country without jobs for almost 2 years now. They will fail to talk about their own part of the bargain, what it is their own doings, things they should have done and they are not doing. Will you believe that since the existence of Nigeria and UAE, Dubai, that Nigerians have been coming to this country to work, there is no existing memorandum of understanding between these two countries? The last time the Minister of Foreign Affairs was on Channels TV last week, he was saying the memorandum, they could not sign it because it is not in their interest. So we are asking, in case they are watching now, or somebody that knows them is watching, we are asking, in whose interest in the interest of the Minister of Aviation and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, or in the interest of Nigerians that are living, working in UAE. Because these two guys, they also banned Emirates Airline for more than 1 year. Emirates Airline could not fly into Nigeria. Only these two guys banned Emirates Airline because they said the rules of Emirates Airline was not in their interest. But mind you, Nigerians that were flying from Nigeria to Dubai did not complain about Emirates Airlines rules and regulations during the COVID. But only these two ministers were complaining, and they banned Emirates Airline. So we are asking that this memorandum that is stopping us from going to work.
Yeah, citizens, I am kind of aware of what the people in Dubai have been facing for the past 2 years. But what we couldn't understand was that, why is it so difficult, especially seeing what it seemed to be the relationship between the Buhari and the, the UAE ruling class. Yeah. Now, what could have been that thing in between the UAE and Nigeria that Nigeria couldn't resolve, or they couldn't do between themselves, that they have to subject many of you, because it's so horrible that the stories are really, really bad. I did a program on it a while back, but you just pointed out right now that two individuals whose job is to protect your interests as Nigerians who are there, or at least expectedly. But this past 2 years, it has been a blame game between them, and it's all about Emirates. So they punished Emirates, and the UAE government, in defense of Emirates, are now firing you, the Nigerians. Said, do I get that right?
No, really. They punished Emirates, stopping Emirates Airline from flying for a whole year. Right. What the government here want to do is they want to put things in its place. Right. The Nigerian government were able to ban Emirates Airline for a whole year because there is no standing memorandum of understanding between these two countries. During pandemic, it is not only Nigeria that block Emirates Airline. Other African countries also block Emirates Airline, but the ban could not last more than 2 weeks because they have an existing memorandum of understanding. But because Nigerians do not have such with them, we were able to ban them for a whole year. How will you stop people's business in your country, and you expect that your citizen in their country will be working and have a nice day? When Emirates Airline persuaded them for so long for June 2021, and they still remain adamant to leave the ban on Emirates Airline, within 3 days, UAE stopped Nigerian work permits. Within 3 days.
So this
Yoruba
is
will say,
yeah, you are facing all of this as a form of a retaliation against the decision of Nigerian. Man, this is sad. In fact, it actually makes it more sadder now that I actually know the whole story, because initially I thought, we're receiving this the report of Nigerians who are like attacking themselves as cultists and all of that, committing this or that. But I did tell people then that there are, if not tens of thousands, so there are thousands of Nigerians who are legitimately, like I am living in the UK right now with my family. There are Nigerians who are legitimately working for different businesses, institutions and all that in UAE. So what could have gone wrong? Yes. Now, this is that actually...
Is the story.
Yeah, go on.
I'm very sorry. That is the story the Nigerian government usually push out in the media, so as to make us, Nigerians that are here, look bad to the people. That it is because of our activity, it is because of cultism, because of fighting and prostitution that all these bans are there. But I said it is a lie. The UAE, all the cities in this country since 2017, UAE has continually been the best country to live in, the best country to do business in, the best country to raid kids in, the best country for ladies to work at night. They are very good. They are perfect in their security architecture here. They know how to handle everybody and put them in their place. So if it were to be the case of courtism and people fighting, they know how to handle all this. All the people that go out to fight or carry cutlass, within a week, all of them are usually arrested and sent back to Nigeria. So this is not the case. This is usually the story the Nigerian state is pushing so as to make people look bad and thereby forfeiting their own responsibility to doing their own responsibility.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I wish I'm actually having a full program with you where you can really go deeper and deeper and even go into options of resolving this and getting help. But this is the People's Parliament where we actually allocate time. Thank you so much for sharing that. I may give this a follow.
Thank you for giving us the platform.
Bless you. And my regards to everybody in the UAE. So our Lady Layo Ajayi. So we are giving you that slot, ma, to take the next 5 minutes. And then
Hi,
you can.
how are you?
Ma. How are you, ma?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
You're breaking up. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma, but I think it's the network that is acting up, okay? So if you hear this,
ma. You can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, loud and clear. You can continue. Me, I will handle the tech behind here.
I'm very dull looking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I can see that my screen is the darkest. Obviously, I don't do Zooms regularly. Hi, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to be here. Mayogun, we appreciate you as usual.
Thanks, ma'am.
So today we're talking about, do we believe anything can happen in the courts? Can there be a difference? And I want to go first of all back to saying something. You know that there are 3 types of people in the world. 3 types of people.
Yes, ma'am.
This is from the Greek philosophy. 1, idiots. These are self-centered people who only care about themselves. They only care about themselves. They don't care about any other person. Number 2, they are the tribalists. These are the people that are only concerned about their own group of people. So it can either be by religion, by tribe, by other preferences. And then 3, they are the citizens. These are the people that care about others. Now, it is known in the world we don't have up to 10% of citizens in a country. But in Nigeria, I cannot boast we have up to 2 to 3%. Let's not forget that the people in the government, they came out of us.
They did.
So when we keep on complaining about the government, these people that are bad are inside us. And we have a lot of us that are citizens, that are Nigerians, that if we were given the opportunity to be there, yeah, we probably would do as bad.
As this
so
one.
We really are in a mess, like I said the last time. We are in a mess. You have seen what has happened in the last 1 week. How, we've heard a lot of things. Basically, on your own program, I've heard a lot, and the airs are turning. I want to be optimistic that the courts will do the right things. Let me tell you why I'm optimistic about it. In the dynamics of the Nigerian politics, we have never had these dynamics before. A bunch of millions of people that are faceless. We don't know where they are, but they are shaking, and they are movers of shakers. We don't know where they are. We just know that when somebody says something, before he says it, they brought out information about the person keeps quiet.
That's right.
No, not you, Mayogun, because I know you know a lot, and I respect what you know. But you cannot give us a spool that, okay, in a situation where we've had PDP, APC, and other smaller parties, and this is what is going to happen. We can't predict what is going to happen this time around.
Not at this point. Not at this point.
And we also know that even though Peter Obi, they said he came 3rd, he's the one that seems to be shaking everybody.
That's right.
He's the one that seems to be shaking people. The obedience are shaking people. I can't say what is going to happen. But I believe that even look at this man, Mr. Apapa, or what do you call his name? He not perform now. He couldn't do what he was told to do. Why? He wasn't even at the Labour May 1 event. We not see him. I thought he had strength. It's dead. So no matter what they are doing, I believe
Oh, I think our lady Mama is joining us from Nigeria, so the network is playing kind of a game on us there. I'm glad that she could even last that long before this interruption. You see, it's rolling. That particular place that is rolling, that is Mama Layo there. However, I'm gonna go to Ebere just to manage our time. Okay, as promised. While if Mama comes back, I will bring her on to complete our presentation. Ebere, sir, thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so you can unmute, and that's you. How are you, sir?
Okay, Mayegu, good evening, everyone. Good evening, the panelists.
Good evening to you.
Special greeting to you, Mayegu. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm very much happy this evening to join this program because it has been long. I've been following you, but just that I try to join the program sometimes, but sometimes I don't know hardly to join. But I'm grateful today to join. I know the time I started following you during when you broadcast inside your kitchen. I can remember.
I know people. You know, when I know you, no matter what you be today, I don't know you from that kitchen. I love hearing that. Anyway.
Because we are the people at the we are like the people at the we are the back. We are the back leading following you, telling you go on. We are with you. Please, I would like everybody to join us this evening. We lost somebody. We lost one of us today.
Oh.
The problem is the problem in Nigeria. From Nigeria, follow us down here in Italy. This person we lost today. I just want to deviate a little.
No, you are free. I mean, that's kind of. I wasn't expecting that. I'm so sorry about your loss. Okay, and
it's a graduate. It's a graduate, Nigeria, a graduate from Nigeria. But because of the problem in Nigeria, he think let him go, like to go and look for a way for surviving.
Opportunity.
He came down from Nigeria, down to Libya, cross the sea, now in Europe. But the sad part of it is that when he arrived in Libya, he got a sickness, like a kind of sickness, like they call it tumor. When you see his stomach through the picture, you ask whether is it a man or woman, like a pregnant someone. He arrived in Italy from DC. We tried our best. He went to operation, but he couldn't make it. Since last year, he had been going through this to a treatment in the hospital, but the information will go today that it didn't work.
It didn't make it. So
we now saw it that the Nigerian problem cost everything. A graduate. A graduate. Mayegu, a graduate, when he speak English, you understand the level of this guy. If Nigeria is a good country, very, very sad. Mayegu, really, from your program, you have been speaking everything concerning Nigeria. Everything concerning Nigeria, you have been speaking it, you have been telling people, like passing it like a message, like Imagine Andekano. But the indigenes of Nigeria fail not to understand what is going on, and they cannot understand, and they will not agree. Do you know why?
Tell us.
They choose to feed themselves through bribery. The side they choose is the side of corner. Let us like a way to do. There is a way to do it, and that a way to do it kept them the way they are today, and there will be no way. There will be no way to redeem this. It's not possible. I can only pass this message this evening through your channel, the opportunity you gave to me.
God bless you, Baba.
I tell you, and I tell the panelists and tell the Nigerians, Nigeria can never be good. My father told me this. I'm heading to 40 years now. And when I remember the word my father told me at the age of 15 years, he said, my son, if you don't want to go to school, go and learn work. That you can only survive in Nigeria when you work hard on your own. Nigeria will not offer you anything. And when I remember that word, since 15 years ago, and when I'm in age of 15 years, when I look at my age today, and you see that word
is
like it's a baptism, like it's a baptism every year. When like it's a baptism, you baptize it, you saw it, it's real, you continue moving. And today is worse than then.
Even what your father saw when you were a 15-year-old boy, compared to what it is today, is even worse. What are you going to tell your son?
Now, I want to use the opportunity to pass message to particularly the Imo State people. All of us know what Imo State have been passing through for years. Now, the question we ask ourselves, how are we going to solve the problem in Imo State? Mayego, I want to pass this message for people to know. It's a record. Let them put it in record. I remember this always. When you present somebody like Rochas Okrocha, let me just give an example of recent, very close, because his tenure just finished. How many years? About 3 or 2 years and a half ago. If you present Rochas Okrocha, you present to oppose them, and someone will tell you, I beg, we love Rochas Okrocha upon his evil. We love him than Hope Uzodinma. But I want to tell the Nigerians and Imo State people today, the one we are going to see now will be the worst. Do you know who they want to give us in Imo State again? And a retired military. A retired soldier. And you ask yourself, what a retired soldier can offer us in Imo State? We are going from hell to hellfire.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why? They are looking at opportunity, a kind of a strength that will push Hope Uzodinma from that seat because of all the evil. Because his hand have stained a lot of blood. His hand like soaked inside. He washed hand with the blood of his citizen. So they are finding a way, a strength that will push this Hope Uzodinma aside. They are now finding a solution from the Labour Party, a retired soldier. A retired soldier that have never solved any problem in Nigeria. The person they gave us that live in Nigeria very soon is a retired soldier, Buhari. A retired soldier will now come and they campaign to you and give you all the promises. You ask him, when he was a soldier in Nigeria, what did you do? Nothing. Completely nothing. And they want to tell you he wants to come and be a governor in Imo State. That means all of us will now go into a military regime.
Wearing civilian clothes. See,
I'm happy to be in this. And let me thank you in a special way. Please, continue what you are doing. I remember the time Mazen Nandekalu said that we should follow Mayegu. Mayegu is a kind of person where he see the truth, he tell you how it is.
That's right.
If we have you like a politician in Nigeria, I know maybe that blood that corrupts people may not corrupt you. I know it may not corrupt you. But I've been following you a long time. You are a kind of man. Nobody can bribe you. I saw it. Not only spiritually, physically. I saw it.
Thank you.
And there are Nigerian people that always listen to you. They should bear something in mind. To get money, to be rich, to answer big name is not the issue. The issue is that we take example like somebody like Mayegu. If we are a kind of person that can bribe, they could have bribed you for a long time ago. But you continue being consistently like whom you are is what you are. There will be no way. I don't want to continue telling you a lot of things, but I thank you. I'm happy to join in this program this evening. And I hope that if you can even give me a chance a day to have some, with you.
See, there will be nothing I would love more than that. And that could be what
I will reveal a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We will. we are
so much.
And again, once again, accept our condolences. Okay, a lot of people are saying that right now to you. You may not see them, you may not hear them, but they're actually speaking it in their mind, like that story you shared with us. Okay, and stay safe, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. So, Mama Layoma, you are back. So I'm going to let you have just about 2 minutes. Like we are almost coming to the end, and I've got men who are like kind of. So, Ma, please.
I'm sure you think I've had to do a lot of work to get back online. But you can't lie, I told you.
I know.
So what I was saying, Mr. Mayegun, yes. I know that you know so much, but nobody knows the real dynamics of what is going to happen. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And I'm sure you agree with me, and the members of the parliament also agree with me. Number two, I would like us to forgive these are elders that are misjiving. It is not easy for you to move from being in a life that you have been bullied by the military and you have been schooled to shut up, to understand that the younger generation are no longer shutting up. It's not very easy to understand. There was a lady who sent something from Canada. She's 18 years old. And she was abusing her parents. Not her own parents, but she was abusing our generation about how we have spoiled the whole thing. And I sent it to a group of my friends. And all they could see was Omala Ilekolele. And I said, can't you take your eyes away from that and look at what she is saying, so that you as the adults in Nigeria can begin to stand up. But they didn't see it. So I'm asking everybody here, just forgive them. Forgive Wole Soyinka. He can't see it. He's already almost in his 90s. And whoever else is saying all that. But just to cut short and go, I have a feeling that there's going to be a different dynamic, and we're all out watching. And if the dynamic goes in favor of us, the obedience, you will see a different Nigeria, because you will see millions of citizens like myself going into government, local government councillor, councillor, local government chairman, taking care of our local government area, because that is where governance is. It's not at Abuja, it is here. It's in our schools, it's in our hospitals, and it's on our streets, taking care of our youth. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
And you too, Ma. Thank you so much for not leaving us because of all those trouble. I can only imagine the trouble you have to get through behind there to get back. Thank you for all of that. We appreciate you, Ma. Okay. So now let's now go to I call you the Agba Awards, because it's like I'm having superstars on the screen who have a lot that you can have in the next half an hour that will make your night or evening. So how did I share it earlier? Osas Zele, sir. Is that you?
Me. Yeah.
Of course, it has to be you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you hear me, sir.
Loud and clear. All of us can hear you, please.
Oh, that's very great. I want to thank you for your humility and, of course, for your dedication for your country. And I've been following you, but not so long. About a month ago now, I just discovered you, and I must say I'm very grateful to what you are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit because the brother I just finished just now before this lady, he was talking about what's going on in Imo State and all of that. So I am not an advocate for division of Nigeria, not at all. I love big countries. I admire United States. I admire India. I admire China. I admire France in Europe. France never let us territory go, even those that are in Africa. If you place like, near Madagascar, you have 2 islands there that's still under France. If you go to Caribbean, you have the Martinique. They never let it go because that's what makes great country. Once you belong to a great country, you walk all over the world with your heads or with your chest out. That is why you cannot kidnap any American citizen right now. They will rescue that citizen immediately. But if you kidnap someone from Belgium, a Belgian citizen, or from Luxembourg, they have to consult France to help them to secure their citizen. You see, that is the disadvantage of belonging to a little country. So I'm always an advocate for a bigger country, bigger people, because the more the country is big, the more intellectuals you have, the more, as a matter of fact, the development usually you have. Okay, that's why you see Russia, want to make sure that they are regretting for selling Alaska. If it was now, because Russia didn't have good leadership, I think back then Russia have what we have today in Nigeria, where we don't have visions, we don't have leaders that have vision, that have anything that have to do for the country. So there's even Crimea was given to Ukraine by a Russian president, just as if it was just like a gift. So Vladimir Putin see that, like, what happened to us? I mean, you can't imagine that. But that was how their leaders were. Okay, that is what we are going through now today in Nigeria. Okay, so when you have a nation like Nigeria, a lot of people, you see, our problem is not because the Hausa man, Yoruba man, Ejoma, I'm from minority, I'm from Edo State. It's not because we are together. That's not the problem. Indians have the same population. I mean, a lot of people are living in India. If you go to a place like Malaysia, if you go to a place like China, in France, in United States, but for that matter, you have a lot of races there. They're able to build country. They're able to live together. So I don't advocate for division of this and that, because you can see what I just said, Nimbo, right now. That have not to do with federal president. Have not to do with federal government at all. They are, you see, elections are organized in Ekiti State, in Edo State, where I come from. People kill themselves. It has nothing to do with presidential election at all. Local government election, they kill themselves. See, we have to look into this and say, okay, we have a problem. Because I remember when I would be talking when I was at home before I traveled to abroad, they would say, you be Oyibo now, we know be Oyibo. I said, okay. It takes the Oyibo way to do things. Don't you understand that? Because when you look at Japan, when Japan started developing, Japan was imitating Germany. They started sending their citizens to study in the German university, advanced chemistry and mathematics. They come back and begin to build their country. When you see Europe now, you are in Rome or you are in Paris, you see a lot of Chinese now everywhere. So they are not going for holiday. Instead, they are going as tourists to see the development in these countries and coming back on to replicate what they have seen. But look at our president. Where are our leaders, our lawmakers in Dubai with a big stomach drinking beer? They don't know about this thing. It's not in their head. It was okay. Let's see how Eiffel Tower was built. That's when you see Chinese. When I was in Eiffel Tower the other day, I see almost the whole world assembled every day, different languages. What are they doing here? Why are they so admire this thing? It's because the people that understand what it means to develop a nation, development. So they have to go on and replicate that. You see the Chinese, some of them are, ministers, you see them with camera, in Rome there, taking photos. These are made at all companies. These are leaders, okay? They are not just ordinary farmers. No, we're talking about people who just, because Rome is where everything started in Europe. Exactly. Rome is where everything started in Europe, okay? So that's where the civilization of Europe today, that's where everything started. They want to see this development. It's not because they don't have that, but now they have to see what's called admiration for civilization, okay? Once you don't have that, like many of our people, like I was trying to say right now, it is because of us. We have to look at the way we look at things, the way we behave. Because we not be born. They're gonna be born. I said, this thing, I told Nigeria, I said, it's going to quarrel with you one day. This attitude is going to quarrel with you. And that is what is happening today right now. You see leaders, call leaders. You know what Ronald Reagan said? Ronald Reagan said that the people are government. When the people are good, the government is good.
That's right.
Okay? Our leaders are not coming from Nigeria. They are not coming from wherever. They are Nigerians.
Just like us.
So, yeah, exactly. There was a study that was done of recent. They said that even though you remove all the whole leadership today we have today, remove all of them, or put them in prison, kill all of them, and you brought a new generation that you are going to have the same result, because the majority of the mind of Nigerians is about money, 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 money. You see, until you understand that is not the way to go. Because for you to make money, you need to have industry. You need to have inventions. Exactly. Without that, you cannot really make money. Whether you draw, whether you go into drug, you go into 419, whatever, that is not where or you walk and you want to kill yourself. You will never get rich. That is not where it is. No. Those are facade, you know. That is someone trying to run the wrong lane. Okay. So because the Chinese didn't do it like this now, after Japanese. This is the Chinese now, of course, the Koreans with their LG, Samsung, with their Kia Motors taking over the world right now. Because they were able to say, okay, look, what is it that we have done? I mean, we don't have. Let's have it. You know, then you have the Dubai people, like people from all this Middle East. Okay, we cannot invent those things. Now we have the resources. Let's have those things. Let's invite those architects, those engineers to come and do this thing because we have the money. So, but a black man, not just only Nigeria, God gave you resources. Okay, you are not able to invent nothing. Okay, there's nothing invented in Africa. God's okay, you don't have that. I don't know why you don't have it, but you have these resources. Use it to develop yourself. You're still struggling. You're still struggling. You don't know what. I don't know. That's why I don't believe also Oyibo did this and Oyibo do this one. No. Why Oyibo is not doing it to even Egypt here?
We do to ourselves, Baba.
Exactly.
So
it's we that are taking money to UK. It's not UK government that's forcing Nigeria to bring money there.
I keep telling people that one, no. Like you see, gone are the days when the Oyibo came to exploit us. Today they are in their country. Is that we are inviting them to come and steal from us, or we are stealing and taking it to them?
I'm taking it down there. Exactly.
We can't continue to
Exactly.
See, you know one thing about this platform, right? I kind of know that we have brilliant people with brilliant minds who can start conversation, a discussion that can be so elaborated, but time is always the problem. I wish.
Yeah, that is why I have a word. Sorry, I have a word that I coined. I say that once a nation is seen as a fair nation, the people that come from that country, they are also seen as fair people, irrespective of their classes.
And that's a very fair expression.
Yeah, irrespective of your class, because at the end of the day, you are not going out with your big limousine in Nigeria, with your big house. You are traveling with the image of your country that has failed. So at the end of the day, you will be arrested, you will be queried at the airport and say, oh, Nigeria, this is a Nigerian person. They don't care whether you have Rolls Royce in Nigeria. They are judging you because your country is not working. And that's why Ambassador, former president of Nigeria, was disgraced at the Canadian airport. Because Obasanjo is a very rich man, he's a very wealthy man, because he's not traveling with those things, but he's traveling with the image of his country. And that is why you see, I talk about, what we call economic racism. Why you see, back in the days, the Chinese will see the Japanese, they will bow down their heads. The Koreans will see the Japanese, they will bow down their heads. But then the Koreans, Samsung Electronics, they have destroyed all the televisions, or whether you have to do with Panasonic, Sony, they are no more in the market. Samsung have took over everything. So the South Koreans can raise up their head when they see the Japanese. So the same thing with the Chinese before they bow down, but now they can raise up their chest because they're able to do what other people have been doing. That's what it is.
I love that.
So until we understand that, we don't go nowhere.
We are going nowhere. I like that. It will be on record that you lectured us on this tonight, and a lot of people are currently probably either nodding their head or they're just there with their mouth opened and their mind, their ears, what do you call it, running. See, Osasele, it's been a pleasure, sir, for having you.
God bless you, sir. God bless you
so much. I hope I'm lucky next time. You have a good one, sir.
God bless you.
And you too. So now we are narrowing it down. I've got no structure. The last time you were here, sir, it was like, well, that was introductory, where you told us about Madame. And you did leave something. Which one of them was that you were one of those who were kind of optimistic. You never believed in Nigeria, but you kind of felt optimistic at some point that you thought maybe INEC was right. But here we are again. Something is about to lure you into believing that maybe the judiciary could turn it around. So Osun has happened. And there are also pointers now that are giving people who are almost giving up hope. They are beginning to feel kind of maybe, just maybe. So you're going to go next now, sir. And Alex, Michael, you are going to go after no structure, while Osita and I will wrap it up today because it's meant to be like a special one. I will frame this face. Now, no structure, sir. Where do you go tonight, sir? Please.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Very good. Good evening once again.
Good evening, sir.
Here in Germany, we say Guten Abend.
Oh, tell me that one. Which one is a Guten Abend?
Guten Abend is good evening.
That's good evening. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Good Abend, sir.
Good is good. Just as good is good. We can say Guten. Abend is evening. Abend.
Okay. Abend
Guten
is
Abend.
What's Abend?
Abend is evening.
Okay. Abend is evening. I'm sorry. Abend is evening. Then Naven. What's that one? Good Naven.
Good. No, that's a slang. The people in Berlin say Guten Abend. It's just like slang. You just mix Guten and Abend together.
How you day? Okay, I'll stick to that because I come Germany. You need to get So thank you, sir. Sir,
yes.
Over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I spoke last time about having some kind of hope. This time around, my hope is maybe reduced somehow. I will tell you the reason why. Because I had some kind of conversation with my mates back home, and I think maybe 3 to 4 people. They all have the same ideology. I mean, they are giving me the same answer, saying I should stop comparing Germany or let's say Europe with Nigeria. They say they have their own system, and this is how they are doing it. I try to emphasize them, to explain to them, to talk to them, to tell them how they are being governed. Because I told them they are all normally in darkness. They don't know what is going on. They can't see. I mean, how many of them are watching maybe a Rise TV or whatever? So they don't know what is going on at all. I try to lecture them, but they don't try to. They won't listen.
Just not.
And I feel somehow people you are trying to fight for, they are not even, I don't know, Yoruba. I mean, Yoruba we say anja tori oja or something like that. I don't know how you can maybe help me. So they are not, sometimes you just feel weak when you are fighting for people, and they feel, leave us, let us live our way. We have our own system here. And one thing I want to say, maybe you can remember the time of pandemic. Yes, what happened? The whole palliative was stored in a warehouse. People were suffering. People were hungry, and they started breaking out the whole warehouse to have something to eat. For that, normally Nigeria should have. I want to say one thing. Our people are so forgetful. You know, we are in Europe here. When you do something like that to us, we will never forget it. But people back home, maybe because of religion, they will say, well, let's leave it to God or whatever. And that's stupid mentality for me. That's very, very stupid. Now they came out now. A lot of people, let's say Oni or Fife, and some elders are saying election will come and go. Let us keep on moving. Why? That's not democracy for me. Because the whole case is now in the court. They should wait. They should let us have the verdict, and then they can ask us to say, okay, let us keep on moving. You understand me? Because I don't understand how we think. We call it democracy. This is not democracy. Before the election, you say, okay, if you are not satisfied, you go to court. Now we are in court. You are telling us we should give up. Well, what's that? I know for me, I can't understand that because I try to talk with my people back home. They are all saying, Tinubu will do good. This is not about Tinubu will do good. This is about justice. A lot of people have been hurt. And they try to forget that. I say, okay, let's keep on moving. But that's not the way it should be. So I don't want to talk about, my hope is just half-half. I want to say one thing about the brother that went right now, talking about one Nigeria. I mean, one Nigeria, maybe back in the days, maybe in 30 years ago, one Nigeria, someone can think about that. But right now, Nigeria is going from top to bottom. That's right. When you think about Malaysia, 60 years back, Malaysia got independence. Likewise, Nigeria. Where are we? Where is Malaysia today? As I've said, Nigeria is going down instead of going up. We are not producing. The only where we can talk about Nigeria is in music industry. That's all.
Entertainment.
We are not producing anything. Everything is just going down, down, down. All our schools back in the day are spoiled. Nothing anymore. So I don't think, for me, maybe the best thing, as usually say, the best thing should be normally to everybody should be on his own part. Hausa should be there, Yoruba should be there, and Igbo, because we don't understand the Hausa, for example. They have a very different mindset. Somebody was talking for some minutes ago that if the Hausa boys come out to demonstrate, they will never come out because they are brought out. They are Muslim. They are taught not to be upright against their leaders. So they won't come out at all. So the best thing should be everybody should be on his own side, because our leaders right now, everybody is just thinking about their own pocket. Unfortunately. So for me, I don't know. My hope have reduced. I would say, because gradually my eyes are open.
What happened in Osun today did not boost your mood. Where maybe something will still happen. Nevertheless, you still have some. You said it has reduced. Some people don't get at all anymore, sir. They don't even have any expectation. While others, theirs is still this high. Eventually, time will tell, sir. Thank you so much.
Give me some seconds. Mayegu, I'm from Osun. I will admit I'm from Osun. I will not say I'm happy about the verdict right now, because back in the day, 30 years ago, Osun was different. You understand? So let me just wait and see what Adeleke is going to do. Maybe in a year or two, I can say, okay, then I'm happy. But for me, I'm a realistic. You know, I'm a German. I want to see his performances. That's what I'm. But now I cannot do party.
Sir, you will rather praise what you can see and touch than what you can imagine.
That is it.
Yes.
That is it. That is it. Thank you very much. God bless you. I'm with you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So now we have. Oh, did I lose Ken? I thought I had Ken earlier. Anyway, Sir Alex, you and I will be next. And yeah, you can unmute, please. Hang on. I think I may do that for you if it's going to let me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You have been
okay.
Yes,
I'm happy to join you.
Thank you.
Miagun General.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've been following you for quite some time. I think it's more than 4 years now. Wow. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex, and I heard so many of you are making a lot of assertions about North. I'm actually from northern Nigeria.
Oh, finally. I love this.
Yeah. So, but you see, this definition of North, when others were commenting at the comment section, I didn't actually want to join, but I had to join you to clear some misconception about the northern Nigeria. You see, some of you just use one color to paint the whole northern Nigeria. I am from Taraba State, for example. And when you talk about the Obide movement, per se, I am not actually a part of the Obide movement, but I am a lover of the Obide movement, for example. So we are one of those that are in between. In fact, if you permit me, I will tell you we are the one holding Nigeria together. We are the one like they call us the middle belt.
Yeah, you know, I even call you. I called you. I said you are the belt. That
exactly.
If you look at Nigerian map, in the middle, you will see that these middle belters, they are like the belt holding Nigeria. If that belt losing, Nigeria is
agree with you.
I'm glad.
I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what most of you guys in the South don't understand is that we in the middle belt, we are not actually aligned to the misconception the Southerners have pertaining the North. The North, they define it as those in the Muslims, but not all the Northerners are Muslims. For example, I'm a Christian, and I don't believe all those things that they are believing about. So I like good government, but in as much as I want good government, for example, if today Nigeria should maybe divide, I promise you, then the middle belt will not be part of the North. This I can tell you for free. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So now, what I wanted to add into this your program, because I am so interested, I always follow you. In fact, I don't listen to any news anymore. I don't open to channel all this NTA or AIT. No, it's when I want to hear news about Nigeria, I turn to your station and I hear everything.
And you need to be speaking out more. Let me tell you something, Alex, right?
Yes.
You are right. And I don't know how all of you, I told people, see, I have the data. I can tell where everyone is watching me from. And what is the number of people who regularly come on my programs, right? And I do know that I have a lot of followers from Northern Nigeria, seriously, especially Middle Belt. But guess what? There is this general misconception, I'm going to call it misconception now, okay? That I finally found Alex to come on board to show that this is not about a Southern affair alone. A lot of people are watching from Northern Nigeria, but the impression that they will never talk, they will never say anything, you will never see them here. You have broken that jinx tonight by showing everybody that indeed the Northerners are watching. And most of the time, a lot of you kind of possibly agree with the position. So thank you for doing this. Alex, please tell us more.
So what I wanted to say, or rather, is like a advice to you particularly. I am of the school of thought that please, this your program is a very good one. And I don't look at it as just a Nigerian kind of a thing. I look at it as African thing. Right now, I'm not in Nigeria, I'm in South Africa right now.
Lovely.
So I was following you, one of your presentations, somebody was advising you, please get in touch with Julius Malema. I don't know whether if you can remember that time. Somebody was advising you.
I still do. Yes, I do.
Yes. So I want you to expand your spectrum. Reach out to other African countries. Because for me, these boundaries of this is Nigeria, this is Cameroon, this is South Africa, this is Uganda or Kenya. Once upon a time, Africa was just one country. All these borders were created by the West, by the white, and they did it deliberate to exploit us. So for me, I will suggest, it's a suggestion anyway, I'm not saying you must take it, but if you feel it's good for you, expand your satellite to other African countries as well. Good enough, I'm here in South Africa. I can, market you very well. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can be able to, link you up to many people that I know that are here, that are, and then I have other friends too from Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe, and all other African countries. Those places I can link you up. You understand what I'm saying? But to round up what I want to tell you, the reality is that today, as Nigeria stands, we really lack good governance, good leadership. You understand what I'm saying? And I promise you, like I said earlier, if Nigeria should divide today, say, okay, Biafra go, the West, that's the Oduduwa, they go. I promise you, the middle belt will never, let me repeat again, they will never be together with the North. Because the definition of North for us is the core Muslims. Talk about the Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, and all those places. But when you come down a bit from Taraba, Adamawa, Gombe, even some part of Bauchi, Katsina, Plateau, Benue,
some part of
even part of Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, and there, all of us will leave them alone. I promise you that. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity, and I will continue to follow you.
God bless you, Alex. Thank you for finding this platform worthy. You may not know what you have done tonight, sir, right? What you have done tonight is that you have actually encouraged other Middle Belters, even Northerners, to come out and join this program and say, it's a free space. You are free. It's safe to speak out your mind. Yeah, and you have just proven that, and I'm so grateful to you for doing this. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I hope I'll be lucky next time to have you. Stay safe, sir. Sure. And there you have him, Osita. One name.
Can you hear me properly?
Loud and clear. I go beat myself if I fail to hear you clearly this time. What I have is that I have two people that I'm going to bring to join us. So we're going to just manage the time. I'm going to spare, my time is so up, right? I'm going to spare like another 15-20 minutes. We're going to share it together. And you will be part of that as the kickoff. So go on. I saw these two ladies. I can't pretend I didn't see them.
Oh, yeah,
so Eldoma, let's go to Osita, where we are. I know the guys are jealous. Somebody is laughing like, hey, look at this Mayegun. He's brought two people in. Anyway, so sorry, right? So Osita Baba, how you doing?
Yeah, great, brother.
You remove your this thing, Baba. Now, one thing about this People's Parliament, it be like say most people kind of always want to take the mask off and say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna face it and say it now.
Yeah.
How you doing?
The mommy on the right, I really appreciate her because I used to see her in Dr. Damage's program. And
see me. I'm
lucky.
She's
always on fire.
That's amazing.
My brother, good to have you. Good to see
you, Osita, please.
You know, a lot have been happening, and you know, I've always want to see what people are saying before I contribute mine. If there's a little addition or subtraction that I need to do in my thoughts, then I can now have to make those adjustments. You know, in the case of Imo State, which one of our brothers talked about, I am sorry. No one is advocating for evil. For me, there's no big evil and there's no small evil. Or there's no small wrong, there's no big wrong. But the devilish part of it is, I told you, I became who I am today, political wise, because of Chief Gani Fayomi. That is my adopted father. I don't care what anybody says. You know, he said something at the time. He said, give people the basic amenities and eat the whole money. And you know, he told that to the politicians, and you know, the only thing that is the basic amenity that you give to someone is ability to stay alive, which is security. All of us in Nigeria, we became so interested about the politics in Nigeria because of they've been eating the money all the while. Don't be surprised. I've never been to this program and talk about money that they ate. But it is because they have taken life out of us. Nigeria become a state where life doesn't count. That is the problem we are facing in that country. That even our elected officials can come up and shoot somebody, and people will still clamor for him. They will hail him. Don't ever. I believe that brother is listening. compare any human being with the current governor of Imo State. Don't ever. Whereby you not only gaslight your people, you kill your people. I am from Imo State. You have the infantry to tell the people of Imo State that I asked the military to come in. You admitted it. And how can you compare Rochas? There was something that Rochas said. You know, I've always criticized Rochas on this program.
Yes.
But there was something that Rochas said. I never brought military into Imo State. I never arrested anyone who even said things about me, wrong things about me. But today, even the journalists in Imo State can't even say anything. If you say it, they will go and visit your mom. They will go and visit your mother at home.
And they are burning people's properties because they are challenging Nopo. They are burning people inside houses. They are burning the houses and burning people inside there.
So,
the message.
So anybody that thinks that he will come, hope is facing re-election. If Tinubu successfully becomes the president, there's nothing that is going to stop hope, because because the way it is, he has given everything he can give unto Tinubu. Imo State money, government money, is part of what you are seeing that they are using to run all this merry-go-around now. It's part of Imo State money. I am not a small person in the politics in Imo State. I know a lot because I know most of the people who are occupying different government parastatals in Imo State. So what I'm trying to say is, do not compare any human being that is born of a woman with the current governor of Imo State. I am so sorry to say it. If I annoy anybody, you just have to take it the way I just said it to you.
Because you have seen it. You've seen the evil. Everyone have reported it many times.
Yes.
People have been slaughtered and killed, gone missing, body been taken terribly.
So there is a difference between the Lucifer and the one that later turned to the devil. It's two different things. The Lucifer and the one that later turned to the devil, they are two different personalities.
Angel, they call them.
So that is one. Now, I want to talk about the old generation of politicians in Nigeria. The reason, like we saw, it wasn't Daddy G or whatever that they call him. He wasn't the one that made that statement.
Right.
But he was his representative. And that representative is somebody I know that have been to Atlanta here to preach. He did the same thing in the altar of God. And that was one of the reasons I stopped going to that redeem, as at that time. That particular man has always been Tinubu supporter. He said those things in the altar here in Atlanta, and he said that he was making an analogy. I was against the analogy because you cannot be standing on the pulpit of God and you said you serve God, and you are using somebody who does not know God, the meaning of serving God, and you are using that person as an analogy that person is an upright man. That Tinubu, when he wanted to travel, he was looking for somebody who he could trust, who could be a nice man. And he had faith. He was trying to talk about faith, and he had faith and trust in Isalako Barack Obama, Fashola. And he said that this is the man he has trust. That was what he said on the pulpit. And I went to the pastor because I was close to the pastor. The pastor actually gave us, when we hosted P2B in Atlanta, he gave us the place we used. And I went to the pastor and I said, how did you bring this kind of person to the altar of God? I have the effrontery to say that because if I wanted to be a pastor just like every other person is a pastor, today I should have been a pastor.
You should have been, Osita. I would have been calling you bishop right now. It would have been a different thing. I would have been a friend of the bishop. Osita, see, our time is rounding up.
So let me just round up in just 1 minute.
Quickly.
So what I'm trying to say is that these old people has failed us. How long will we continue to forgive them? We are not fighting them. We are not fighting them in the house because they are fathers. We are not fighting them. But what we want to say is that we want to separate our own conscience from their own failures.
Bless you.
That is what we are asking for. If you cannot speak the truth, keep quiet. Keep your mouth shut.
That's it.
That is what we are saying. And we are not asking for too much.
No.
So that is the final point. And I am telling somebody on the final note, what we are seeing in life, there is a global change of power in the world. There is a global change. The power is changing hand. It is written in the Bible that kings and kingdoms shall fade away, but my word will remain. It is only the word of God that will remain. Meaning that the only thing that is constant in life is changes.
It is.
So we are not surprised what is happening in Nigeria. We are giving it to them the way they want it. Because they want it, and we will give it to them. They will never know peace as far as they think we will not have peace.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wish I have all the time. Usually, I always feel like I'm pushing people to say, please, go, and it doesn't feel good. But we'll do it anyway. Mama H.O. They have been.
Hey, the gate of heaven I don't enter today. Oh.
Who are you,
Do you
man?
know how many times I've been trying to call you?
Oh, you look at it. Instead of calling me, here we are. I am speaking.
It don't be like the miracle when God do the day when I catch Obi for a white show, boga.
You see, miracle no the tire Jesus. They talk up. So I'm happy to speak. I wish we have a lot of time. Ajia, I'm going to be my last person that we're going to have.
I want to start by saying thank you.
Please, ma'am.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for standing for the truth.
Thank you,
in the midst of those who will always pervert truth for their belly. People like Reno Mockery, Oma Sheo, Anu Eshemi, and you born picking there. Reno. Now we have food there. Now you the dance go. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. And listen, Nigeria elders. They say maybe they respect now as they tell us. But the same Bible, one I preach to us, it tells us one thing. Do not provoke your children to anger. You people have provoked us to anger. That the Jews there. Adeboye. Is this what the owner of Redeem saw in you and he gave you Redeem? At one point, did you change to a God Christian? That the Adebo you are putting to you, that as at this time, you are a goatee Christian. Now me talk about Jesus said, I will separate the sheep from the goat. The sheep hear my voice, but the goat, they cast out demons in my name. So that all of you are still performing miracle. You think you are doing it because you are still with him? No! Because he said, when God gave him the name after he resurrected, he said, anything you ask in this name, I will do. So because they are still answering your prayer does not mean you are a Christian. You are a God Christian. That is why the Bible says on the last day, I will say to the God, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. He said, you will open your mouth and say, how can you call me workers of iniquity? When I cast out demons in your name, when I heal the sick in your name. That is who you people are right now. Almost 99.9% of pastor, evangelist, bishop, GOs and mommy GOs of Nigeria, they are goatee Christian.
Louder.
So, when those of you want to talk, touch not my anointing and do my prophet no harm. The people you are referring to, they are not the anointed of God. They are the goatee anointed, which they are living on their past glory. That is why they will look at children on the street and they will be building auditorium to pack many of you together just for the purpose of tithe and offering. They don't care where you get the offering from. That is why they have trained my children. They condition them. The women, they just condition you people to think the only way you can make money is to open your two legs. They don't let you know that your brain is the source of you to make money. No, they make my daughters to think that the only way to make money is to open their two legs. They turn them to Olosho. They turn them to hook up. What a shame. Daddy, those that come to sing to you in the altar, in the name of singing, they become Olosho during the day. They become a hook up people during the day just to give you people tithe and offering. What a shame. You turn my children to become kidnappers. You turn them to become Boko Haram. Now you have turned them to become unknown men. What a shame. What a shame. You stole their destiny. You stole their destiny and you gave them your hardship. You gave them poverty. You gave them hopelessness that makes them, because they want to survive by all means. They have turned to kidnapper. They have turned to Yahoo boys and girls. They turned to Olosho. They turned to hookup. They turned to Fulani herdsmen. They turned to kidnapper. Now they have turned to unknown government in your generation. What a shame. How dare you, Daddy Adeboye? How dare you? You were there. MC Oluomo opened his mouth and threatened some specific tribe in Nigeria that they mustn't vote except they want to vote for only Alagbado, Toti Jagbado, that they might be Toti what? You threatened them. And you people did not say nothing. Even no only of it, you said nothing. And one year policeman came out to say, he's just joking. In the next day, it happened. They said, Pikin cry in the night, which confess in the day. Talowa Pomo. Talowa Pomo Daddy Adeboye. Ẹ̀yin olóṣì tí ò ní dáa fún yín. Lágbára Jésù, lágbára Elédùmarè. Lágbára Ọlọ́run tí ò jẹ́ kí ikú kú òjijì. Every innocent blood that has been spilled in the land of Nigeria as a result of this you people's behavior, I ask today, let them begin to ask for vengeance from you and all the Goti that the GO. Let their blood and their spirit, let it haunt you, that they are the boy and all that the GO that are Goti. Let their blood haunt all of you and your generation. Day and night. You will
you will never disappoint.
And I am asking today, let the element of the universe that heaven has given to me as my weapons of war, I invoke the power of the sun. I invoke the power of the moon. I invoke the power of the night. I invoke the power of the day. I invoke the power of the sea. I invoke the power of this earth we all march upon. I invoke the power of the wind. I invoke the power of the air we breathe. And I invoke the power of the water we drink and we use to bath. I invoke it upon all of you. May they war against you day and night.
Amen to that. Mama Echo, thank you so much. I know.
Except you people don't drink water. Except you don't use water to take your bath. Except you don't preach this air. My baby, if I don't consult with one barrier against me, what if I share the film? They put them in my hand. All power belongs to God. I don't say you people should not travel. I know you people know me very well. I know you be checking me out in the crystal ball, in the mirror. But let me tell you, let me introduce myself to you. I am an occultic lady, and the capor of my occult group is God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. So before you kill me, you must kill my capor. I am a wind. Nobody catches the wind. You wicked attitude. Kò ní dáa fún yín. Kò dẹ̀ ní dáa fún ọmọ yín. Wèrè lẹ́ máa ṣe lọ́jọ́ àná yín. Lójú yín. Ẹ fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ aláṣọ kó máa wà kísà. Ọmọ aláṣọ kì í wà kísà. Ọmọ aláṣọ kì í wà kísà sẹ́. Ọmọ aláṣọ dẹ̀ nílé wà kísà.
Can you hear me?
My father did not fight for me.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. See, Mama, I know that you have a lot to say, but we need to remember the time. And if we are not going to do that, I am so much out of time right now. So I'm going to go to Ajia. Mami, so sorry that we just have to quickly do that. I think I'm going to host Mama Echo, especially one day. We can have all the time. So, Ajia, Adeleke.
Good evening, Mr. Mayego. I've been calling. I never get in. And I said tonight, I even jump up of my Zoom to come to you. If my ladies watch this video, they'll say, oh, so this is where you are going. Great. I don't even know where to start from. I don't know what to say, but I just want to say thank you so much. In fact, Princess, I'm coming to you. I'm saying this to you. I'm still going to come to you to work with you because I love what you are doing. My ego has really, I started joining my ego during the pandemic because I'm not a social media person. I don't like coming here. Because I have people taking care of it for me. So I'm like, during the COVID, I was bored in this house. Then I start seeing this from Facebook. I was fans of I want Yoruba Nation. Because I love my culture. And we are those generation that we've been given. When you talk like this, my kids are here, they will laugh because when you bring all the word, by the time you get to the bottom, I said it, I say, you people are so like you as and we kind of like enjoying those lecture, those opportunity. And the mother that speak class, oh my God, what a war. I don't know what to say.
I don't know how to stop.
I'm telling you, she has this passion, everything is so, and but the she solo marry for people. Most of Kokolini, I was with a lady today, and I was saying that she Baba is so, and I'm like, Baba itaba wonu church won emoye yan ti won wa nínú church yen. Have they dreamed for these people? Have they think ibise lo eke lo? Ibi wa se soji gbogbo yen ko lo kan because I am a Muslim, but me, I was once going to Asalatu. I live in England there, but I just said to myself, I'm not going to do all those part of it because when my business started taking me to some steps, I met a lot of people, and I can see what people have become in this world, in this kind of, let's use a European word or a white supremacy word. So and I realized that we don't have problem. Delay. We don't have all this kind of, not that something cannot happen, but the real delay tanini lack of the community engagement, commitment, and what is it? I mean, what is it in for these people? It be by people go if you have to do 5, 9. So gbogbo content so láti gbọ́ yìí summarizing ẹ̀ ni pé kò sí plan, kò sí legacy, and kò lè sí because mo sọ̀rọ̀ kan fún ẹnìkan náà lẹ́ni mo ní kò lè sí mo ní during the Abacha time I work in airport and I can tell you what I see. My uncle now, if he's watching this video, is in US. I remember he was working with Aerofreak, and I was saying then they just stopped. But a week that time, Abacha left. And before Abacha left, when they hijacked, do you know what happened? I know many of our, let's say, immigrations and the officers that they are there, they are top Yorubas. They first take them away. And they start putting all this. I know them. I don't want to be. I can tell you.
Bringing the Northerners. That's the normal thing now. Once somebody will come from
they manipulate the whole thing. They take Yoruba ni whatsoever ni. They take those people that are managing that place. These are whatever they call it, man that owns that virgin. I remember we sit down when he want to bring that company. We sit down together in Muritala on the floor. He bring that business. That's what we are looking for. Look at those children. Maegun, you talk and talk and talk. That's why I say I love the way Princess started, and that is the people we need. We need more of people like Princess to be going to the bottom, not to those top. Isalenye go on the bottom because they need to go there. That's where. Look, I want to use this opportunity to say to people, I'm not condemning anybody, but I want our Yoruba people to stop this lavish life that we don't think what to do. We go to party, we do. I have a company, they reward me every year. It make my head to go out there more to do more job because I get reward. So what are we getting when we kind of like lavishly? And then Maegun Tebanche program, please. Emma, get me wrong, go. In the foundation of okay, who are those people we are talking about there? Father. I said something to my children. I said, look, you see your father, you can look your father. He's going to go. I'm going to go. You going to leave legacy. So what are you leaving? Don't copy us. Learn from what we are trying to do. But don't copy us. If you can change the way and turn things around to be good, do pass us.
That's right.
You see, and you're coming, even it's common in the Europe we are staying. I remember then one Malia will be hello kitchen, hello sheba, hello shekiriko. Gbogbo ìtọ́ tí wọ́n tọ́ wọn lọ́jọ́ yẹn, òun ló jẹ́ kó ya ọmọ àlè káàkiri. Ẹ má bínú, I'm so sorry, I just have to speak the way I feel. Because òun ló jẹ́ kí a rí púpọ̀ ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin tó wà lóde nísìn. And that's why, you see, they are so weak. They are weak. And from their weak, it come to affect many children today. And that's my pain. And that's why I respect Princess so much, because I like the way she went to pick from the bottom. Not just, I want to talk about Yoruba Nation. They come out. We are so happy. We see what they are doing. I was not even giving them money, but I was because me, I'm like, my character is like, when you come to know me, I want to know what is going to come out of it. So I was observed, and then I see that your own platform was completely unique. And it doesn't talk to one person. It talks to general, all the problems in that country. That's why I say, you remember during the Abacha, when Abacha came in, Abacha never know, nobody, even those, that is the time, I can tell you. They didn't tell me all this story. And that was the moment I remember I went to Dubai. I went to Dubai. I came back. I said to myself, I'm not going to live in this country anymore. You can imagine how old I am then, in 90s.
Wow.
I see Dubai Road. The thing Dubai do for some years in 90s is what constructing their road. And I say, hey, why don't say two people no terror by in my because I live in Ilupeju. When you talk about Ilupeju, I was Ilupeju from Ilupeju to Mafoluku. Yeah. You know, I went there in 2021. I'm scared because yeah, I've been in abroad for 22 years, but still, things are really destroyed. And that is why I want us to please all the men, all the dad, all the father coming on this platform. I'm not insulting you. I am begging you. There is a lot in our hand that we can hand over before. Mama Kosorolano, Mama Eni, Otito, Otibo. Yeah, she can say that. But me, I believe Pekobo.
Finally.
Because the only thing we need to do is to create foundation, and that's what you have been doing. And you and Princess Maegun, thank you for that one. I really applaud you. tó máa fi lè ran àwọn èèyàn lọ́wọ́. À ń lọ church lọ gbà. I was in my house here, I pray. I said it from my own generation, Timothy. I'm more than 40 now, but it doesn't matter. But the foundation, you can see the country we are. I'm in Europe. Èmi wà lára ẹni tí mo mọ nǹkan nípa ìlú tí mo wà díẹ̀. Nígbà tí mo dé ìlú yìí kò sí Máyégún, kò sí mo kàn wá wò pé èmi ọmọ líle ọlọ́nà kí ló ní ganan mo wá ń bíra mi mo wá ń rí gbogbo ẹ̀ mo wá rí pé oh my God, àwa Ọlọ́run kẹwàá o, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá ní ayọ̀ ọkọ̀ ká fi ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. We need more people to come out. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin father tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi, tẹ́ tún máa gbọ́ mi, I'm begging you, come and support this platform. Let's build up. We can build up. If we keep thinking somebody is coming and Kidika is coming, that is the logistic of coming. You can see the way they keep changing everything every single day. Today they will bring story for you, and the people that are digging, they are still digging. Trust me, they are digging. The people that are packing, they are packing. So thank you so much for the time. I appreciate. I think this is the best way to come and talk to you more now. So I got the
my evening, man. I have to
I'll be coming through this way.
You should.
Thanks to everybody.
Mama H as well. Two of you are the two parliamentarians that I accepted, and I have no regret. I wish I actually took you in earlier enough. Me and Mama H would have been the one that would do the half of this program. But again, it's just the time. It's been a pleasure.
Because it's true. They speak from heart. I love that woman. I've heard her some platform. She speaks from the heart, and that is real.
I can't wait to have her properly on this program. I'm going to actually extend something to her that indeed I can have a longer time with her where she can have that kind of passion and pass it on. Ajia, thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Thank you too. Thank you. My regards to the family.
So I know a lot of people want to speak. I have other people behind the scene right now. They have been waiting there for like an hour. Some have been there for over half an hour. But it's just that remember, I'm doing this inside my room, and if I don't end this, Agbeke won't go to bed. See, my bed is over there. She won't go to bed, and we should be considerate. You know that, all of you. You do. I will see you some other time. Thank you so much, every one of you who participated in tonight. People's Parliament is always like this. It's always overshotting the time. However, I enjoyed every bit of it. I hope you did. Now, like that broadcast, share it if you haven't, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, or watch this from the beginning again if you join us midway. I will see you some other time. Until then, stay safe and good night to all of you.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.